Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Prowlers back in Wytheville looking for a bounce back after a heartbreaking loss last night. Good evening, everybody. Will Wiggleman here with you at Hitachi Energy Arena. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Prowlers lost a tough one last night. A short-handed goal in the final minute gave the Blue Ridge Bobcats a 4-3 victory. But history in this young season is on the side of the Port Huron Prowlers. So far this year, they are 4-0 on the back half of back-to-backs, and they are 2-0 after a loss this season. And after losses, they've given up 2 total goals in those 2 games. Can the Prowlers get 3 points out of the Bobcats and go home with a split? We'll find out coming up shortly. Pre-game show is next, right here on the Pre-HP Network. Welcome back here to Wytheville, Virginia. Prowlers and Bobcats getting set for their second matchup of this weekend. Once again, I am Will Wiggleman here with you on the PHP Network. But before we get to tonight's game, let's take a look back at last night's game, as it was a back-and-forth battle. Saves made on both ends. Bobcats ended up getting on the board first. Michael Mercurio in the first period, but every time the Bobcats scored, the Prowlers seemed to respond. Lucas Lockney finally getting his first goal of the year. A huge one for him, and it tied it then. But later in the first period, Kyle Heitzner with the rebound, and that made it a 2-1 lead for the Bobcats, which lasted into the third. Bobby Price making his season debut for the Prowlers, got himself on the scoreboard, and that tied things up again. But then the Bobcats would get another. As we watch this play out a couple of times, they're able to keep the puck in. And it's worked to Heitzner. He gets his second of the game as the Prowlers get caught running around on that shift. But again, Prowlers not done. As Matt Graham to Lucas Lockney just seconds after the goal. So it's back tied up again. Prowlers get a late 5-on-3. It's 5-on-4 now as Hlavik comes out of the box and he buries the shorthanded game winner. And the Bobcats take the victory, 4-3 the final. Prowlers take their first road loss of the season. Meanwhile, the Bobcats snapped a 3-game losing skid behind 50 saves from Anthony Schrum. Couple of goals for Lucas Lockney, couple of goals for Matt Graham. Take a look at the standings now in the Empire Division. And really nobody moving around after last night's games. But things are getting really, really tight right there in the middle of the pack. As you see 2 points separating the Bobcats in 5th and the Scarecrows in 3rd. Hat tricks right in the middle. Scarecrows are up this weekend. A chance for Danbury and Blue Ridge to jump them. We're looking for that 3rd place spot in the division. Well, a couple of players to watch. We start with the Bobcats on their side. Kyle Heitzner will be their player to watch. Again, the 2 goals last night for Heitzner. He is tied for the team lead now in goals, points, and power play goals this season. Again, a couple of big tallies for him in last night's game. On the other side for the Prowlers, take a look at a guy who's on a good point streak right now, Alex Johnson. Goal and 5 assists over his last 5 games, and that one goal, the game winner against the Topeka Scarecrows a few weeks ago. He had an assist on Lucas Lockney's power play goal during the first period last night to extend that streak. Well, the Prowlers will be without one of their top guys tonight. Reggie Millette is on the sidelines. So we take a look at the reason why from last night's game. And it was this hit early on in the contest. You see offsides called by the linesman, and then Carson Andrioli dumped Millette after the whistle. Prowlers tried to get after Andrioli, and trust me, that one is not done yet. We will certainly hear more from the Prowlers in response of their injured teammate, but unfortunately for Port Huron, Millette unable to go tonight. To take a look at the lineup, so Brett Morick drawing in after being scratched the last 3 games. His last game against the Topeka Scarecrows, he was scratched in that game, he fought, in that game. He's been wearing a cage at practice since. Austin Federley will take Millette's spot on the top line alongside Bobby Price and Reed Cooper. As we are getting close to puck drop time here at Hitachi Energy Arena, Prowlers and Bobcats, Port Huron looking to move to continue their perfect Saturday record. 4-0 right now this season on Saturdays, and they are 2-0 after losses this year. Well, the Prowlers and Meyer are partnering for the Goals for Good program. Meyer will be donating $10 to charity for every goal the Prowlers score. So far this season, the Prowlers and Meyer have raised $280 for charity. They get the crowd hyped up, ready to go here at Hitachi Energy Arena. It's Military Appreciation Night here in Wytheville. Prowlers will be hosting their Military Appreciation Night a week from tonight against the Indiana Sentinels. That one is 6:05 p.m. puck drop. You can get those tickets right now at phprowlers.com/tickets. Prowlers will be wearing specialty jerseys once again, and they will have a similar blacked out style as they did last year for Military Appreciation Night. So looking forward to that. That should be a ton of fun, and that's always one of the great specialty nights every year for the Prowlers. As they start to bring out the Bobcats starting lineup. And as they do that, we can talk about the Port Huron Prowlers starting lineup tonight. The Austin Federley, Jamie Bucell, and Brett Morick up front. Ben Brockway, Nick Favaro on defense, and Reed Cooper back between the pipes once again. And you might be saying to yourself, well, wait a minute. Those are not the lines you just showed me a minute ago. And if you've been around this league long enough, you know that if the starting lineup is different from the projected lines, that means there's going to be some shenanigans off the opening jump. And that should be very exciting. Certainly, we expect Carson Andrioli to be in the starting lineup for the Bobcats. He's the one that threw the hit on Reggie Millette. Also, Justin Daly in the starting lineup for the Bobcats. He and Austin Federley were going back and forth throughout last night's game. So maybe that could be another potential matchup for the fisticuffs. But this will be one heck of a game, and it should be one heck of an opening puck drop here in Wytheville. Prowlers trying to bounce back tonight and avoid losing back-to-back games for the first time this season as the Bobcats continue to announce their starting lineup. And indeed, Carson Andrioli, right on cue, is in that starting lineup. So we will take you down momentarily to ice level for the start of tonight's for tonight's national anthem here at Hitachi Energy Arena.
And Bobcat fans, now welcome tonight's opponents, the Port Huron Prowlers. Their starting lineup: in goal, number 33, Reed Cooper. On defense, number 2, Nicholas Favaro. On defense, assistant captain number 13, Ben Brockway. And forward, captain number 19, Austin Federley. And at forward, assistant captain number 46, Jamie Bussell. The Prowlers are coached by head coach Matt Graham, assistant coach Alex Johnson and Chris Paulin, and trainer Bridget Smith. Bobcat fans, please direct your attention now to the Zamboni doors as the Wythe County JROTC presents our nation colors. Members of the Wythe County JROTC, leading Cadet Sergeant Major Charlie Akins, Rifles Cadet Staff Sergeant Lee Hobbs, and Cadet Private Colton King. Carrying the Virginia flag, Cadet Sergeant First Class Ryland Sitz, and carrying the United States flag, Shaden Robinson.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away.
Bobcat fans, please stand and remove your hats and join us in a moment of silence for all the men and women who have served and made the ultimate sacrifice to protect and uphold our freedom. Thank you. Bobcat fans, we ask that you remain standing as you are able and remove your hats. Veterans render a hand salute for the performance of the Star Spangled Banner tonight, performed by the Freedom Tabernacle Youth.
tonight's national anthem. Here from Whitville, Virginia, Prowlers and the Bobcats getting set to drop the puck in just a moment. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltending matchup. Well, Prowlers with the same netminder. The Bobcats switching it up. Reed Cooper back between the pipes for Port Huron tonight. 29 saves on 33 shots last night. He was able to bounce back from a loss against Binghamton a week ago, and we'll see if he can do the same here against the Bobcats. On the other side, Hunter Borostik's stats come with an asterisk. He was playing last Friday night when the Bobcats fell to the PD Ice Cats 8-2. However, the FPHL League website does not list a goaltender for the Bobcats in that game, so Hunter Borostik was able to get off scot-free after a tough game in PD. That was his last game, and we'll see if these stats will count here tonight. Almost time for puck drop from Hitachi Energy Arena. A packed house here. Prowlers and the Bobcats. And in case you missed the pregame show, likely fireworks off the opening puck drop, and that man right there, Austin Federley, could be in the middle of it. We shall see what we have. Federley will be lined up against Justin Daly. Those two guys battled all game long last night. But it might be Ben Brockway and Carson Andrioli first. And here we go. Brockway answering Andrioli. Andrioli threw the hit on Reggie Millette last night. Brockway is giving him the response. Andrioli with some good right hands to start. Andrioli knocked down to the ice, but he got some good rights in. And he hypes up the crowd here at Hitachi Energy Arena. Brockway again standing up for his teammate after the hit last night. We may not be done. Referees having a chat. They're just going to decide where the next puck drop will be, but it might not be for long. They'll put it back at center ice. Austin Federley getting the gloves loose. It'll be Austin Federley and Justin Daly just as soon as this puck drops. Oh no! And there goes all the drama as the referees blow it dead before they can drop the gloves. That's so unfortunate. Let's try it again. Now everyone in the building, including the people sitting underneath me listening to me talk, know exactly what's going on. The Prowlers captain and the Bobcats alternate captain. Lined up on the near side wing. And we all know what's going to happen. Let's just drop the puck and get to it. Now we seem to be finally ready to drop the puck and get set for another scrap. Here we go. Federley and Daly with unfinished business from last night. They'll finish it here right now. Daly comes over the top. They're trading punches. Federley trying to get underneath, swung around and down. And those two head to the penalty boxes. As we get another look. Daly certainly with a size advantage. And he was able to swing Federley in a circle down to the ice.
Number 19 of the Prowlers, Austin
One more. Reggie Millette sitting up here in the booth, letting me know we might have one more here. Kyle Heitzner and Jamie Bussell. How about three? A hat trick of fights off the jump. And Heitzner firing away right hands on the body of Bussell. Bussell trying to respond. Bussell with a few uppercuts, comes across the top. Bussell with a left, Kona with a right. Heitzner still up. Bussell trying to come over top. Heitzner another one. They wrap each other up. Heitzner skating Bussell. And they go down, and that's it. Three fights in the first 8 seconds. What a start here tonight in Whitville.
2 more 5-minute measures for the fighting here tonight, folks.
Both of these guys getting good body shots in throughout.
36, Jamie Bussell for the Prowlers. And number 86.
And the newest rivalry between the Cats in the Empire Division. Both teams make changes, and let's see if we can get a puck drop and play some hockey. Referee's trying to get Brett Morick and Nikita Kazirev backed up, and finally, players playing the puck, and we're underway. Red Lockhart skates into it. He moves up ice into the offensive zone. Lockhart's quick shot sticked away by Hunter Verustic. Morick working in the corner. Cycled it to James, who was knocked down by Erickson. James down on the ice. Play continuing as James shakes his head and gets back in the play. 3-on-2 for the Bobcats. Hlavik tried to slip it back for Ferosith, too far in front. Martin on goal, gloved and held by Reed Cooper. Luke James getting attention over on the Prowlers bench from Prowlers trainer Bridget Smith. Took that hit, looked like Erickson just knocked him down as he was facing the boards, but game seems to be all right. This one goes all the way down. Verustic plays it around to the far side. Favaro pinching in, keeps it in. Slid out and touched ahead. Denver Craig playing in his second game this season, second pro game. Took a hit there from Alex Johnson. Favaro, indirect feed looking for Lockney. It's as good as a dump. Verustic out to play it again. Very active Hunter Verustic with that goal stick, and Morick steps up to dump a Bobcat. That was Klinecki, who shakes it off and heads back for it behind his net. And then he meets with Brett Morick once again. Oregon gloves the puck down to a side scrum right in front of the Bobcats penalty box that has 3 players in it. Prowlers box has 3 players as well. In case you missed it, 3 fights off the opening jump. They were all separate puck drops though, so no extra penalties, just 5 each on either side. For all 6 players. Penalty coming up, and it will go against the Bobcats, slashing the call, and the Prowlers just 2 minutes into this one will get the first power play of the game. You see the slash there from Kazirev on Morick as Morick was trying to chase after the puck.
Number 77, Nikita Kazirev. Senior minor for slashing. And we got you on our second point penalty kill.
So up this face-off, Prowlers try and set it up. It's Lockhart all the way across to Lockney. Favaro, one-timer, he scores! Nick Favaro let it go through the traffic, and the Prowlers strike first early. Third of the year for Favaro, second on the man advantage. Look at all the traffic in front of Varostic. Johnson and Graham screening the goaltender, and Favaro able to get it through. So after plenty of energy from the Bobcats fans following the three fights, it's the Prowlers who get on the board first, and they hold their first lead of the weekend. Lucas Lockney and Brett Lockhart get the helpers. Kulikov tossed it right into his own man, Craig. Parsons harassed by Kulikov. Now Craig moved it around to the near side. Radchenko pinching in. Took a bump from Morgan. Kulikov steps out of the corner, hit the outside of the post. Up high it goes. Klinecki. Delayed penalty coming up against the Prowlers as Parsons knocked a man down in front of the net. Radchenko gave it off to Mercurio, and now Kulikov knocked down again, and Bobcats coming to Kulikov's defense. And Alexei Kulikov still down on the ice, takes a look over his shoulder. Players battling again. Mercurio tied up with Graham, pardon me. Now Mercurio throwing punches at Matt Graham. Graham has not dropped his gloves. Mercurio dropped one glove and started throwing punches, and Matt Graham did not drop either of his gloves. Kulikov is face down on the ice, getting a look from Bobcats trainer Josh Stevens, and we're still not done in front of the Prowlers net. Everybody getting back into it as it heats back up. Four players on either side paired up. See on the far side, Kazirev and Parsons, the main battle right now. That one's still going. Parsons has Kazirev up against the boards. And now Kazirev has Parsons up against the boards. And coming in to exacerbate that situation is Radchenko. We'll see if the referees remember who had the original penalty. I believe it was Brian Parsons. Kulikov getting helped off the ice. Everybody not separated still as we take a look back at the original penalty, I believe here. Kazirev put it on net, and watch him and Parsons right in front of the cage. They start battling. Parsons knocks Kazirev down. And then things continued as Kazirev got knocked down right after the whistle by Tim Morgan, and that ignited things once again. And of course, Graham and Mercurio were tied up. Linesman got in between them eventually, and then Parsons back after Kazirev, and then everyone going again. We're gonna need an Olympic-sized swimming pool to fit everyone who's supposed to be sitting in penalty boxes right now. I can't even tell how many players are in penalty boxes right now. All the fans standing here at Hitachi Energy Arena. See Alex Johnson there making a motion on his hips, looking for a misconduct penalty. It is 1-0 Prowlers on the scoreboard. It is about $1 million to $1.5 million on the penalty sheet already. We have yet to play 3 minutes of this game. A laundry list of calls on that score sheet. The referees tasked with organizing all of this are Drew Wilkelis and Scott Sanger, the linesmen, who had to break everything up. You see them in action there again, Scott Kitts and Jesse Messimore. There's just not enough men in stripes on the ice to control all of that during that last scrum. Again, you see Parsons and Kazirev there. They broke away and got behind the net. You see the security there, those three people in black right in front of the glass to the penalty boxes, making sure that no fans can get there. And now the explanation is being given to Prowlers associate head coach Alex Johnson and Bobcats captain Danny Martin. It's typically a captain's job to go over there. Unfortunately for the Prowlers, all three of their captains currently sitting in the penalty boxes because they fought within the first 8 seconds of this game. A long explanation. And again, it cannot be missed through all of this that the Prowlers did score the game's first goal. So as things settle back down maybe at some point, Port Huron will be ahead on the scoreboard and continue to be. We'll take another look at that goal from Nick Favaro. And again, watch Matt Graham and Alex Johnson right in front of Hunter Verostic. All kinds of traffic. Johnson in the slot, Graham right in the top of the crease. We know Nick Favaro can rip it. Here's a look back at those fights. Start with Ben Brockway and Carson Andrioli right off the jump, as Brockway making Andrioli answer for the hit on Reggie Millette last night. Austin Federley and Justin Daly were battling all night last night. They figure their stuff out. And then just for good measure, Kyle Heitzner and Jamie Bussell went at it as well. And these are the times when it would be a lot of fun to have the FPHL referees mic'd up so that we can make them tell the crowd everything that's going on right now, because that would be awesome. We might have one of those all-time referee mic'd up moments if we had that capability. I mean, both Bobcats and Prowlers are just out there trying to stretch their legs. Don't want to get too cold or too tight down there on the bench. I mean, both teams, all the Bobcats that are allowed to be skating on the ice are skating on the ice right now. Same with the Prowlers. I mean, both teams just doing laps right now. As we look again at all those battles. But if we go back live to the ice here in a moment, we'll see that both teams, full rosters. The only players left on the benches are coaches and backup goaltenders. See the Bobcats over there on the left. I mean, it looks like warm-ups right now. And we're just skating around. This is unbelievable. Five Prowlers in the penalty box, 5 Bobcats if I can count. Oh, is that 6 Bobcats? 6 Bobcats in the home penalty box. Alex Johnson heading back to his bench. Danny Martin still in discussions. So we continue to get highlights of Brian Parsons, Nikita Kazirev, and Dennis Radchenko getting after it. While we're here in this long delay, I want to say happy birthday to Nick Field, who many know as the Motor City Rockers GM, but He has done a lot of work for us, helping us out in Port Huron, get everything going this season. So we want to wish him a big happy birthday here tonight. Teams now gathered by their benches. Danny Martin still not satisfied with the explanation he has gotten from the referees. Finally, Martin back to his bench, and now the explanation has to be given to the poor official scorer, who might need another pen by the time we're done with this game. Too bad we're not in Port Huron. We could grab some pens from Kerr Albert or something. These penalty boxes absolutely packed. I can read the names in the Prowlers box right now. It's Brockway, Federley, and Bucell, of course, as we remember from the fights, and then Graham and Parsons also in there. Mercurio and Kazirev also in the Bobcats box, along with the 3 from earlier. As is, I believe that's Denver Craig. It's either Denver Craig or Alexei Kulikov. I see the 9, not sure what the second digit is. Nothing is up on the board yet, by the way, as far as penalties go. So at this point, it looks like they'll all wash out, but I can't imagine that's the case. Somebody might be going to a power play. We'll find out. I think the fans here at Hitachi Energy Arena had the opportunity to go down the concession stand, get a pretzel, and come back and maybe even eat half that pretzel since the last time there was play moving. I'm sure there's a restlessness growing for the players here. If the Prowlers do end up on a power play or a PK, a lot of their big players on both of those units sitting in the penalty boxes. Matt Grant, Prowlers head coach, sitting in the box getting an explanation right now, is roll that beautiful footage of more action. From the whistle to the actual players separating in the ends of those scrums at that last whistle before players started actually heading to the penalty boxes. From what I've been told by my technical director, Christian Jackson, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot of time, but if you've ever been in a fight or a scuffle, 2 minutes and 30 seconds is a very long time. There are 5 Prowlers and 5 Bobcats standing on the ice right now, plus their goaltenders. They are hoping to drop the puck shortly, so they can do what they're paid to do. And what they have a lot of fun doing, certainly. After all of this, 5-a-side hockey. No man advantages on either side. Penalties have not started coming down on my penalty sheet, and I don't imagine they will anytime soon. And really, I do not blame the off-ice officials. And now the next challenge is to figure out where the face-off goes. And that is the discussion going on down there between Alex Johnson, Brandon Reller, and friends. The paper and pens are out in the scorers table right now. to their credit, nobody has actually been thrown out of this game. I did not see anybody get tossed. So give them that. That's a hefty, hefty sheet there. All right. Let's get back to hockey here. Brayden Reller and Brett Morick will drop the puck between them as soon as Wojtek Zemlika is satisfied with the explanation he's getting.
On the Bobcats, number 23, Mike Mercurio. 2-minute minor for roughing and 10-minute misconduct. Number 93, Carson Andrioli, 2-minute minor for roughing. Number 91, Denver Craig, 2-minute minor for roughing, 10-minute misconduct. Number 77, Nikita Kozrev, 2-minute minor for roughing, 10-minute misconduct.
So 3 2 and 10s handed out on the Bobcats side and 1 2-minute. And now we have a disturbance in the stands as a fan is pointing and yelling at the Prowlers penalty box. All the Prowlers in the box were looking directly at him. You see him there. He was angrily pointing over at the Port Huron box, and now he is heading up the stairs and down to the concourse as the security staff have done their part. All right, now we're ready to play. Still 5-a-side hockey. Wait, hang on. One more. Luke James has to head over to become the 6th man in the Prowlers penalty box. He has to serve 2 minutes. And now we have one more question from the scorer's table. Five players on each bench right now, 5 on the ice. Is this the FPHL or Tuesday Night Adult League? I don't know. I didn't bring my gear, so I can't suit up and head over there and be the extra forward, but my goodness, there are more players in the respective penalty boxes than there are on the respective benches. I might get Bailey Huber and Anthony Schrum, tonight's backup goaltenders, out there for a shift. That's where we are right now. Oh, the fellas who aren't in the penalty box, like ice time, they're going to get it. Again, nothing has come down on the penalty sheet yet. Hopefully soon. Puck is down. We're playing hockey. And Alex Johnson's stick fails him as he dumps it up the ice. Still got down to Verustic. And now a rink-wide feed on the tape of Flavic. In on Cooper, and he'll gather it back in to cover up for a whistle and a face-off. And now Morick getting into it with Erickson. Erickson has taken a penalty here. Do we have room in the sin bin? I don't think we do. And Robin Erickson is not a small man, 6'3", 225. Brett Morick, by the way, is wearing a cage as he was injured in the fight the last game he played. We have 7, count 'em, 7 in the Blue Ridge penalty box. And if that's not an FPHL record, well, I might actually not be that surprised if that wasn't an FPHL record. You see Erickson grabbing Morick's cage. That one will actually go up on the board as a 2-minute penalty against Robin Erickson. So we will have the second Prowlers power play of this game. They are 1 for 1, went 1 for 8 last night. And a chance for a 2-0 lead. And the cynic in me can't wait to see who gets put on this power play unit, although it is mostly regular power play guys. Credit to Chris Paulin on the Prowlers bench, although we'll see who he draws up for the second unit. It's Lockney, Johnson, Lockhart, Favaro, and Brett Morick getting power play time. So Morick, the odd man out as far as guys who you don't normally see on the man advantage, but here we go. Morick set up right in front of Verustic as the Prowlers work it around the outside. Johnson steps up the wall, gives it to Lockney, walks in, picks his spot, and off a stick. And goes wide. Morick trying to go off the boards up to Favaro. Favaro banged it right back down deep. Johnson turns the corner behind the net. Has to settle down the puck. It was on edge. Another penalty coming up against the Bobcats. Favaro steps into it. He scores! Second power play goal of the period for Nick Favaro. And Brendan Reller is irate. The puck was just loose, and Favaro clapped it. A howitzer to the top corner. And I think that might be the second time this season the Prowlers have scored when the other team stopped playing on a delayed penalty, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. And look, Reller at the right of your screen there is throwing his arms up in the air. I think he thought he touched that puck, and it should have been whistled down. Folks, may I remind you, this puck drop was 7:30 p.m. We are about 40 minutes gone from 7:30 p.m., and we have played 4 minutes and 13 seconds. Or pardon me, no, we have played 3 minutes and 38 seconds, actually. I had to reset the clock here on the PHP network. So the Prowlers will still have power play time, 1 minute and 30 of power play time still remaining because they scored, because of how they scored. So we'll try and fix that here. As we get set for a face-off at center ice. Prowlers still on the man advantage, so I honestly don't know if that counts as a power play goal or if it just goes down as an extra attacker goal. But Lockney gets his second assist of the night. Alex Johnson, the other helper. And that same 5 will stay out there. There are currently 4 Bobcats on their bench and 3 on the ice. Or 4 on the ice, pardon me. Daniel Klinecki is chatting with the referee. Here's another look as that was put right on a tee for Nick Favaro. You talk about winding up a clap bomb. Nick Favaro, what a shot. So Robin Erickson has been allowed out of the penalty box. Stepping into the box is Martin Hlavik. So I think they will have to restart this power play now. I believe this is right now, what we have up on our board here on the PHP network. It is indeed. This is what we're going with, and we are back underway. Prowlers power play. They're 2 for 2 so far. Here's the man that scored both, Nick Favaro, giving it off to Lockhart. Favaro again. Lockhart steps up, switches spots. Favaro across, looking for Lockney. That pass was at about Lockney's hip, and he couldn't bring it in. Lockhart trying to keep Farusith from going in shorthanded, and he did. Favaro back in. 4 Bobcats back waiting for him. Favaro trying to slip it through for Lockney, couldn't do it. Favaro in deep, watches it go to Johnson. Lockney collects behind the cage to Johnson. Favaro wants the one-timer. He takes it over top of the cage. Lockney turns the corner. Back towards Favaro, passes in his skates, and the Bobcats able to clear. Halfway through the penalty to Hlavik. Prowlers just send out whoever was left on their bench for this other power play unit. It's Organ, Bazal, Price, Hakela, and DeCumbis, all of whom have seen power play time at some point this season. Bazal walks up, gives to Organ at the top, steps in, off to Price, pass down low for DeCumbis, didn't get a shot off. battled for. DeCumbus run over. Hakela looking for it. Radchenko forced it up the wall. And up comes Reller shorthanded. Price chasing him down. Reller powers through, and Bazal comes back to take the puck from him. Oregon tried to feed a pass up to DeCumbus, who is heading off to the bench. Perron, one last clear. Goes all the way down. Reller will win the race to it. That will do it for this Prowlers power play. Lockhart right off the bench. Feeds it up to Lockney, right wing side. Lockney's in, had it poked off his stick. Perron for Lavick. Try to feed a pass up. Lockhart stepped in front of it. Perron looks ahead and he ices the puck. And as soon as this whistle blows, we'll get a mass exodus from the sin bins. The door hinges getting work on the penalty boxes tonight. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll say, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Hello, I'm home. There he is. What is happening? Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch? Spicy. Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
Back here on the PHP Network, Prowlers with a 2-0 lead on the Blue Ridge Bobcats. How about Nick Favaro with 2 power play goals? That, of course, would be the story if it wasn't for about 100 penalty minutes, as they're still working on getting them all on the penalty sheet here on the FPHL website. They're not even close, by the way. Shot 6-3 Prowlers. And really the only penalties on there right now are the ones that affected on-ice manpower. But we had a mass exodus from the penalty boxes. Only 1 remains in the Prowlers box. That's Brian Parsons. 3 in the Blue Ridge penalty box. Mercurio, Kazirev, and Craig. All 3 got 10-minute misconducts along with their 2s. So they still have to hang out in there. Parsons still hanging out again in the Port Huron sin bin. On the ice right now, it's Danny Martin, who does not have a penalty minute to his name in this game. Getting the return feed from Faruseth. Jamie Bucell. Off the glass, out of the zone. Faruseth grabbed it right in front of Price, and he tried to backhand it to Federley. Prowlers getting a change going as they get back to their regular lines. Lockney, Graham, and Hakela, the line out there right now for the Prowlers as Heitzner works up. Pass was behind Bresco. Hakela causing some trouble for Bresco. And it's Perron resetting. Klenecki. Pass across. Picked off. Here comes Graham working in with Lockney. Graham. Lockney just got a soft touch on it. And Verustic able to scoop it up with the glove. The Prowlers hard on the forecheck here. Getting in the passing lanes on that shift. And you saw the good stick there from Lucas Lockney to set up that play. Off the draw, comes out to Favaro. Wrist shot gloved and held by Verustic. A face-off will be on the other side this time as the Bobcats get some changes. Graham and Reller in on the draw. Push back to the line. Favaro floats it through, hit a body as Favaro took a hard hit from Justin Daly. Klenecki bumps it to the outside for Reller. Off the side of the cage from the goal line, Ferusith recovers on the other side. Looking towards Reller, passes in his skates. Johnson tries this side. And Favaro takes a penalty. That is delay of game, and Nick Favaro knew it right away. Johnson trying to plead the case for it being deflected, but that won't work, so the Prowlers will go short-handed for the first time tonight. Bobcats were 1 for 4 on the man advantage last night. We'll see if the Bobcats can get their man advantage working and get themselves back in the game. Slavic off to the outside, pass across was picked off by Bucell, and he sends it down ice. Good stick by Ben Brockway to disrupt the feed. Out the other way comes Slavic. Heitzner weaves his way in, working on Brockway, throws on the brakes and curls it up top. Slavic had his stick break, and Brockway clears. 30 seconds gone on the penalty to Favaro. 8 minutes, that's right, 8 full minutes of hockey time gone in this opening period. Bresco steps to the middle, his shot blocked. Andrioli to the point. Martin, Klinecki, one-timer. That was about 2 or 3 feet over top of the cage. DeCumbus on his backhand, only got as far as Martin. Fakes the drive over to Klinecki. He walks down to Heitzner, touched it to the bumper spot. That pass evaded its intended target, and finally Johnson able to win the battle and wrist it all the way down. 45 seconds left in the power play for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. They do not have a shot on it yet. Ferusith stops up, tries to feed a pass across, and it comes out of the zone. Is nobody ready for it? Daly skates in, he's met by Lockhart. Here comes Hakala shorthanded with James. Hakala to James on the backhand, and Verostic stretched out that right leg to make the save. And finally he covers up to get the whistle. There was no whistle when it was pinned underneath his pad. But the Prowlers getting an opportunity shorthanded there. Hakala to James. And Verostic with that right pad just able to extend it far enough. And again, he ended up playing that and then covering it because the referee did not blow his whistle. Off the draw, it's Erickson. Slowly up. Gets into the Prowlers zone, lost the handle though. And Johnson, one last clear, takes care of the Favaro penalty.
The Prowlers now back in full swing.
Martin up to Bresco. Gave it to nobody except Tim Organ. And it's bounced out of the zone. Now Favaro working in, one-on-one against Martin. Favaro with his back to the net, tried to hand it off for Price. That got interrupted. Here comes Heitzner 1-on-4 as the crowd gets rowdy for that rush. Lockhart wheeling behind his own net up ice. Steps past Andrioli. Lockhart took a hit from Daly. Looks like he got a hand or a stick up high. He heads back to the bench. Back the other way come the Bobcats. Perron drops it off for Daly. James gets it behind his own net. Up to Hakula. It got through him. Johnson kicks it ahead. Has Bazal. Johnson spins back. The trailer, James. He'll reverse it down low. Bazal cut off by Klinecki. Andrioli just scoops it up the boards. Johnson kept it alive. Bazal tried to back pass out in front. That didn't work. Perron closed in on him. Hakala to the line. Favaro walks to Organ. Fake the shot. Changes the angle and then fanned. Bazal just gets it back down deep. Prowlers working hard on this shift. deep in the offensive end, but they lose the puck here. They'll get it right back. Good job by Lucas Lockney. Lockney down the boards. To the top to Favaro. Lets it go. A blocker save. Verostic goes off the back glass. Reller chased by Bucell. Brandon Reller skating with it. Tired group of Bobcats out there. Reller gets it off to Klinecki. Blue Ridge able to get a big change here. Reller and Favaro tied up. Radchenko from the boards. Blocker save. Cooper. Ferosith down and around. Heitzner to the line. Radchenko touched her Erickson. Ferosith backdoor play. They score. Brendan Reller able to slip it 5-0 on Cooper, and Blue Ridge cuts the deficit in half. Take another look. Good puck movement from the Blue Ridge Bobcats. And Reller, just a perfectly placed shot between the wickets. His team high 6th of the season.
Bobcats goal scored 11 minutes 43 seconds into the first period by number 22, Brandon Reller. Number 9, David Bruceff, and number 33.
Off this faceoff, puck ends up out of play. And we'll have another draw from center ice. We will take a timeout. 2-1 Prowlers. Fisticuffs have calmed down, at least for now, here in Wytheville.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Go
Prowlers!
Prowlers!
Puck is down again here at Hitachi Energy Arena. Prowlers and Bobcats continuing 2-1. Port Huron in the early going, still a period 1 as Price swung and missed at a puck right in the slot, right in front of Verostic. Here's a turnover and a shot by Morick, gloved by Verostic, and Morick put down by Daly. Martin and a Prowler went tumbling down to the ice. That was Price. Erickson wants Morick. Erickson has already taken a penalty by roughing up Morick away from the puck and after the play. Doesn't seem to have taken another one here. Verosith and Erickson picked up the assist on the goal by Reller. Verosith, his first point this season, made his season debut last weekend. Did play a few games last year as a rookie and ended the season on 15-day IR. Played in the NAHL, the Austin Bruins did Damon Verosith. Off the faceoff, Alex Johnson gets it down deep. Bumped around to the far side, Heitzner got it through to Bizal, and his shot deflected down. And a save made by Verostic. Heitzner for Andrioli has help, gives it off. Verostic the shot, and steered away by Cooper with that goal stick. Plavik shot blocked, and the rebound bounced past Heitzner. Heitzner works up the wall, cycled down low, got through James. Now Andrioli takes control. Verosith up the boards, harassed by Johnson, and they're giving Alex Johnson a penalty. Hlavik came in and threw a late hit on Johnson after the whistle, and James wants after Hlavik. But Alex Johnson is getting the penalty here. Bobcats will go to their second power play of this game. As we watch up the boards here. Johnson just knocking down his man. We'll see exactly what the call is in a moment. Holding is the call, so he swung down his man and got him with the free hand. Bobcats will get the second, again, their second man advantage of this game. Off the draw, Brockway claps it around. And now the zone, Heitzner able to grab control in the neutral zone. Now Martin for Heitzner. Klinecki back for Martin. Spins back, and he gave it away. Hakala kicks it along for Graham. And Verustik came all the way out to clear it away from Matt Graham. Back come the Bobcats. Klinecki played to an area. Got to Heitzner. Feed in front. Knocked back by Lockhart. Lockhart gets to it in the far corner. He's able to clear it off a Bobcat stick out of the zone. Martin trying to wind it right back up. Andrioli back past Heitzner. Floats it across. He's behind Reller. Klinecki taps it deep, but only Tim Morgan there. He'll take all the time in the world. And now we'll fire it all the way down. Halfway through this Bobcats power play as we approach 6 minutes left to go in period one. And we approach 1 hour after the scheduled puck drop of this game. Klinecki couldn't dangle through everyone, and it's cleared out. Bresco back behind his own net, watched by James. Bresco starts up to Daly. Gets into the Prowlers zone. Daly down to the ice, and that's a penalty against Tim Morgan. And Tim Morgan threw his arm up in the air immediately. Didn't like it. Daly went down, and the Bobcats are going to a 5-on-3 for 26 seconds. You saw Daly tripped up there. And Tim Morgan back in the box. So the Prowlers with 2 defensemen in the penalty box right now. Graham and Reller on this face-off. And Martin gets it to the line. Hlavik, Klinecki, one-timer, whistled it off the window. Lovak. Martin back to Hlavik. Klinecki off a couple of one-touch passes. Down low, Heitzner tried a backdoor feed, and Favaro got down to block it, and he just does get over the blue line out of the zone. Johnson is out of the box, so it's a 5-on-4 now with Reller working back in. Reller, saucer pass all the way across. Klinecki closed on by Bucell. Bucell trying to kick it along. Klinecki across to Reller, touched it back. Reller again, wrist shot kicked out by Cooper. And Hlavik has to resettle. Reller works up, Hlavik floats it through, it's blocked by Favaro. Into the corner, scooped up by Heitzner. Halfway through the Oregon penalty. Reller, one-timer blocked by Bucell, and Bucell gets to it and is just able to ensure it gets over the blue line. Martin working right back in, his team in the midst of a change. He feeds it off to Radchenko fresh off the bench. All the way around towards Heitzner. Blind pass in front, only found Favaro, and this time he keeps it off the glass, and Bavaro knew that one was close to being his second delay of game penalty of the night.
Fans, always keep your eyes open for those flying pucks.
4 minutes left to go in period one. 22 seconds now on the Bobcats power play. It's Daly spinning back in the corner to the top to Radchenko. Wrist shot, blocker save, Cooper. Ferosith spinning off a check. Ferosith from the outside, hit the side of the cage. Centering feed, save, Cooper on the doorstep. They battle for it. Ferosith back on it on the half wall. Radchenko down low, pass in front. Cooper got the goal stick on it, then he got the pad and the glove as well. Prowlers back at full strength, and we'll have 5-a-side hockey when we come back here on the PHB Network.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys, here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way,
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry
I
up.
won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
for the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Back here in Wytheville, Reed Cooper keeping it a 2-1 game. That last sequence, great stop right on the doorstep. That was Andrioli who got it from in tight. Great opportunity there. And Reed Cooper keeps the Prowlers ahead. 2-1 here, just about 3.5 left to go in period number one. Face-off will be to Cooper's right as Bucell and Mercurio get set for the draw. Lavick floats it off the far corner boards. Kazirev to Craig. Shot from the outside, hits some traffic. It's underneath Organ. Mercurio dug it free, up to Perron. Lavick wristed through, save. Cooper, rebound right there. And Cooper squared up on Kazirev to make the save. Everybody getting back to their skates after the mad scramble in front. And watch the play by Cooper here. He doesn't try to go after that puck. It's out of his reach. He just squares up to Kazirev to make sure he makes the save. Now Cooper again keeping it a 2-1 Prowler lead. They're trying to get this lead to the horn. Bobcats have had a lot of pressure in the latter half of this first period. Off the face-off, Brockway. Try to toss it along. That was taken away. Hakala after it. Hakala able to one-handed ahead. Lockney chips it by his man. Takes a look. Lockney around the net. Out top, Lockhart loaded it up. And a blocker saved by Verostic. And now the Bobcats looking for a break. Daly dropped it off for Heitzner, but Graham on the back check took it away. Sent it all the way across the ice. Radchenko there for Blue Ridge. Port Huron making a change. Radchenko makes a move up the near side boards. Gets into Prowler territory. Takes the shot off the stick of Reed Cooper and up out of play. 2:17 left to go here in period number one. Prowlers leading the Bobcats 2-1. We get set for another face-off. Off the draw, Radchenko, Klinecki, one-timer, knocked down by Cooper. Puck still available, but it was centered to Connor Bazal. Here comes Bazal. Off for Morik, cuts in, and a save for Rustic, puck available. Bavaro comes down to keep it in. Radchenko working it in Bresko's direction. Bresko needed a change. Johnson up the boards. Kazirev trying to knock it down. Bucel takes control before he's squeezed off by Martin. 3 Prowlers, 2 Bobcats digging away now. 3 Bobcats, 2 Prowlers. Now 2-on-2 with a couple of watchers. Under 90 seconds to go in period 1, and they finally whistle it dead, as that puck was not going anywhere. Coming up on the first intermission report here on the PHP Network, take a look back at the coaches show with Austin Federley this week, where Wings Etc. decided to give us their wall wing, which, in case you don't know what that means, that's just their hottest wing in the restaurant, and they put a picture of you up on the wall if you eat a whole basket of them. So see how we reacted to that. Also take a look at out-of-town scores, stats, and more. And we'll send it back to our McMorran Place studios with Molly Urquhart to do it. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. And just so I say it ahead of time, we did have internet issues at Wings Etc. during the week, so the video will look very choppy, but that is not because of our live internet feed being choppy. That's because of the feed was choppy at Wings Etc. So please don't start messaging us and trying to find the other stream because you think your internet or our internet is bad. It's just because of that video, and it will just be for that video. So don't worry about it. And really, you just have to hear our reactions, honestly. Mercurio and Graham on this face-off. Eventually. Now Graham with a complaint, and he wins the argument. Mercurio asked to leave the face-off. Kazirev will take it instead. Tied up, Craig retrieves it in the corner. Lavick sends it right back where it came from. Craig steps out, his shot off the shoulder of Cooper and off the back glass. Parsons chases after it, up the far boards, and R2 Hakela skates out for the Prowlers. Lockney pokes it behind the net. Hakela tied up. Graham in there as well, pops out. Lockney's shot stopped by Verostic. Here comes Kazirev. Stepping in, Prowlers get back to defend. Hakela up to Graham. Saucer pass to an area, but Craig beat Lockney to it. Craig in with speed. Shot blocked. He was surrounded. Pops out in front to Cumbus. Just able to poke it away from the oncoming Daly, who was fresh off the bench. Now a penalty coming up against the Prowlers. Reller gave it away to Price. And holding is the call. We'll see who's headed to the box. Looks like it's Luke James to the penalty box. So in the final 13 seconds of this first period, the Bobcats will get their 4th power play of the frame. They are 0 for 3 so far. And it wasn't there at the end. It was earlier when the puck was in the corner. Off the draw, Johnson. And spun back to the line by Mercurio, who took it. Klinecki, Heitzner, winds and fires. That was blocked by Morik. Johnson takes a look at the clock, trying to take it to the horn. It came out, and Heitzner couldn't handle the pass. That will do it for 20 minutes of play here in Wytheville. Fisticuffs from the opening drop, and plenty more after. After it's all said and done, the Prowlers with a 2-1 lead. We still have not seen all the penalties put down on the sheet from the second scrum. That was after the planned fights at the beginning of the game, so our penalty minute totals may not be fully updated. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it later on in the intermission report. But coming up on the PHP Network intermission report, the coaches show with Austin Federle. Again, watch us try the hottest wing that Wings Etc. has to offer, and also hear some of the fan questions that the Prowlers captain answered on Wednesday at the coaches show at Wings Etc. Again, if you want to see the coaches show live, it's every other Wednesday at Wings Etc. And we, of course, promote it on the Prowlers social media channel, so be sure to follow us there as well. We do want to give a shout out to our crew out there at Wings Etc. tonight. For every Prowlers road game, watch parties at Wings Etc. in downtown Port Huron. Such a great part of the Prowlers fan experience this season. Of course, right now, Prowlers leading the Blue Ridge Bobcats by a score of 2-1. We'll also do, of course, storylines, out-of-town scores, all the usuals coming up in this first intermission report. Well, check out the Prowlers team store, the brand new team store with all new merch as well. It's located on the southwest end of McMorran Arena, and it is open all weekend long during the Silver Stick Regionals. It is closed at this point today, but it will be open again tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you want to get some Prowlers gear and don't want to wait for the next Prowlers game, you can head out there tomorrow all day, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Prowlers team store, all kinds of cool stuff there. And look, touch, feel, and check out all the new merch, again, at the Prowlers team store. Coming up, we'll send it back to our McMorran Place studios with Molly Urquhart for the first intermission report. We'll do it next here on the PHP Network.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
Congratulations on your engagement again, man. You know, you should get some life insurance.
I never really thought about that. How would I do that?
We can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. Congratulations on getting married, man. Have you gotten a house?
We just got one, actually, yeah.
Well, if you want, we can help you out with life insurance at Zach Egan State Farm to cover your mortgage. Is Olin a year old now?
He is.
Wow. Have you guys got life insurance set up on him yet?
I haven't even thought about it yet.
Oh.
How would I go about that?
Well, we can help you with that at Zach Egan State Farm. High five?
Yeah, hon, we should have gotten life insurance years ago.
Hey, Ken. We've actually got a policy for people your age at Zach Egan State Farm. Give us a call.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Explore the 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron. That is Michigan's Thumb Coast. Discover charming coastal towns, serene beaches, and endless outdoor adventures. Stay at cozy hotels, paddle through pristine blue waters, and hit the fairways along breathtaking views. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hey there, Prowlers, friends, and families. Molly here at McMorran Place. And I just want to let you know, this week, on Wednesday, the Prowlers hosted their bi-weekly coaches show featuring Captain Austin Federley. He answered questions from fans and burned his mouth on the wing of the week with that wall sauce. Let's go ahead and see that video.
Take us in the locker room. What player or players are the ones getting everyone fired up for the next period, between periods? Who's getting the guys going? Who's talking a lot?
I don't know. There's a lot of voices in the room this year. Chop's been chiming in a little bit. That's nice. He's got a loud voice. Ben Brockway, though, is the most animated person I've ever met when he has, his emotion behind him. He gets the boys going. There's a lot of words I cannot say on Will's live stream because he'll yell at me. But he's very passionate about what he does, and he cares a whole lot about all these guys in here. Maybe sometimes more than I do, but no, I'm just kidding. He's really someone that we lean on for energy in the room, and I mean myself sometimes, but that's only when I get a little worked up. It's like a father yelling at his kids, I feel like sometimes.
Let's see. Next question from the stream here. What kind of music do you listen to getting ready for game day?
I used to be a big rap guy, hardcore, old school Eminem, but
Detroit guy.
Yeah, obviously Michigan. But now we've kind of transitioned over the years to a playlist that normally EDM has been pretty prevalent before the games. Okay. Yeah. We got some country EDM now. That's been fun.
Maybe we share the playlist one day. Just throw
I'll
it
just
out
airdrop
there.
it to the stream.
Just air it. I don't know if that can play on the live stream. Can't have that on the live stream or in the arena, but
that's true.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
Yeah. This one's for Coach. I neglected to mention this earlier on in the show, but of course Bobby Price back with the Prowlers, announced earlier today. Of course, tied for the FPHL lead in goals in the playoffs last year with 5, but where do you see him fitting in the lineup this weekend? Or have you thought that far?
Yeah, no, it's an evolving situation, but he just got into town this afternoon. Obviously, got to figure out where he fits in exactly, but obviously adding a good player like that is something that you have to do, especially when you're trying to build a championship team. It'll be great to have him back. He was a great player for us down the stretch last year, and we're excited to get him in here and get him acclimated, and then get started.
All right, one more question before we get to our Wing of the Week from Wings Etc. Who is the most interesting tape job on the team? Any interesting tape jobs?
I don't know. We don't have like any. Well, no. We're not even adding you into this guy. This guy will just do whatever he wants, and he's like, it's fine. Just pat it down a little bit.
Looks good.
There's creases in it. There's no rhyme or reason what you do, so it doesn't count. You don't try to do that. But I don't know. I think Ando, he's been switching it up a couple times. He's changed tape jobs like 3 times. Buck's got a couple interesting ones. He likes to only tape like a quarter of his stick.
The way Buck treats his hockey stick.
Yeah. This guy will just put it in the garbage.
So disrespectful.
Guys will spit on it. Whatever's in the garbage. B-Way will puke
B-Way
on
was
it.
saying that. B-Way was saying that a couple weeks ago. He said that Buck will put his stick in the garbage and then he'll spit on it. And then we were talking about it's like a spitball. He gets more grip on it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Reggie
like that.
will go over there and stir it up. Like, it's insane. I don't understand how he even uses it.
He pulls it out. There's like gum on it. He's got.
There was one game that he played with brown tape. He uses white tape. It was brown. Brown.
Oh.
I don't even. Where were we? LJ. Hudson Valley.
Hudson
That adds
Valley.
up.
All right, let's get to our wing of the week, provided for us from Wings, etc. Amanda is going to come offer it up to us. Also, I want to say hi to Amanda's kids. Tell them to go to bed because it's after 7 o'clock, and she's gotten upset with me because I keep forgetting to do that every week. But here we are. Go to bed. Yes.
These look hot.
They do look hot. What?
They smell hot. Yeah.
This is what, I said this earlier. She should give us the hottest one on the menu one of these days.
This is it. This
Just
is it.
ruin the rest of the show.
No, I will.
I'm going to cry.
You better get some water.
All right.
Really? Some water? Get some water.
Spicy? Yeah, it's spicy.
It is spicy. Wow. Oh, jeez.
Are we going to get our picture on the wall?
Yeah.
Is that why it's called wall sauce?
There's no way. There's no way. You just give us the wall sauce? Woo! All right. We need our picture taken right now because
It feels like I just took 2 scoops of bucked up.
oh my god.
Who wants to max out on PR right now? I can do it.
We need 3 scoops.
Wow. It's hot.
It's not that hot.
Yeah. All right. That's very hot. We got the wall sauce. I need some chocolate milk. This is,
Woo. Okay. Yeah, if you like spicy.
yeah, come try the wall
That
sauce,
was-
and I think they put your picture up or something. Again, we need our picture up. I think we earned it.
I need some ice cream from the milk house again.
Yeah. Did the milk house employees bring any ice cream for us? Because I could use that right about now.
Okay, it wasn't hot. No, it is.
Yeah. The chocolate milk's right there.
The afterburn. Oh my god. This is episode 3, and we're already like killing each other.
I'm glad that I was on the episode with the hottest wing.
Yeah.
Not.
Wow.
Hope you guys enjoyed that video there. Do you think that you could handle that wall sauce? Well, we have some time to think about it while we take a break here on the PHP Network.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Will Wiggleman back here with you. I'm in Wytheville, but that is McMorran Place back in Port Huron. There we go. There's good old Hitachi Energy Arena here in Wytheville, Virginia. Prowlers leading the Blue Ridge Bobcats by a score of 2-1 right now through 20 minutes of play. 2 goals from Nick Favaro for the Prowlers and a goal from Brandon Reller for the Blue Ridge Bobcats. So glad to have you with us on this Saturday night. And before we get back to it, let's take a look at our FPHL storylines start to go around the league. And a couple of games last night that certainly were interesting. And we start with the Twin City Thunderbirds as they dropped to 1-6-0. The worst start in franchise history for the Thunderbirds, as the team that's been to the last 3 Commissioners Cup finals. Of course, they've lost all 3 of those games, or all of those series. But again, they're 3-time defending champions of the Continental Division. Officially off to the worst start in franchise history after the 4-3 loss to Columbus last night. Their next worst start was in 2020-21. That really weird season that will always be the weirdest season of sports of all time. They started 1-5-0 before rattling off 6 straight wins that year. So we'll see if they can get on the comeback trail and start to get a little bit better here as this season moves along, and maybe they get something a little bit similar to the magic they captured in that season after the tough start. Next up, the Indiana Sentinels have signed Brendan Spinelli, which, if that sounds like a vaguely familiar name to you, he made it out of training camp with the Port Huron Prowlers before he was released as Tim Organ came back to Port Huron. Did not end up playing a game with the Prowlers in his short stint once the season started, but now he gets an opportunity with the Indiana Sentinels. Finally, the Biloxi Breakers last night they shut out the Baton Rouge Zydeco, and they've given up 5 or more goals in every game so far this season up until that point. But no longer. Josh Rosenzweig, 45 save shutout. And that gave the Breakers the win. And again, their first time they have not allowed 5 or more goals this season. And maybe sign of things to come for the Biloxi Breakers. Certainly something their fans are hoping is a sign of things to come here in the future. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scores here around the FPHL. Plenty of teams in action, and we start with those Twin City Thunderbirds, who are off to a good start in battling back from their tough start to the season. They defeated the Columbus River Dragons by a score of 6-3 tonight. Yuri Pastuka, John Batita with 3 points apiece. Michael Mania with 2 goals, as the Thunderbirds get themselves a win, their second victory of the season. Watertown with a 5-2 lead on the Danbury Hat Tricks. They scored the game's first 4 goals, did the Wolves. That game in Danbury, as the Wolves who got swept last weekend by the Hat Tricks in Danbury, now trying to return the favor. But they are up 5-2 as they get set for the start of period number 3. Next up, the Binghamton Black Bears and the Indiana Sentinels. They've just started period 3 there in Binghamton, and it's 3-1 Black Bears. Brendan Spinelli, the aforementioned Brendan Spinelli, is in the lineup making his pro debut. Next up, Athens Rock Lobsters tied at 2 with the Monroe Moccasins. The Breakers up 2-1 on the Zydeco through 20 minutes of play. And the Prowlers, of course, leading the Bobcats 2-1. Quick look at the stats right now from this game so far. Now, asterisk on the penalty minutes because they didn't have them all in when I was updating this graphic. Hopefully, they have gotten them all in now. See if I can give you the real totals. Bobcats, by the way, will be continuing on their 4th power play of the game. All right, right now the penalty totals. 60 PIMs for the Bobcats, 39 for the Prowlers so far right now. It was just one of those kinds of first periods. An absolutely wild affair. And it sets up period number 2. Let's take a look back at everything that went on in that first period. 3 fights in the first 8 seconds right off the bat. First one was Ben Brockway and Carson Andrioli as we get set for puck drop here on period number 2. Again, the Bobcats still on the power play as we continue on here on the PHP Network. And a quick whistle here off the jump. Face-off will come all the way down into the Prowlers' end. Off the draw, one back by the Bobcats. They set up. Lavick to Mercurio. In the middle, Martin bumps it back to Mercurio. Reller behind the net. Out high, Heitzner. Reller from the Rockstar zone. He let go a one-timer that Cooper stopped. Mercurio couldn't bring in that pass cleanly. 2 Prowlers and 2 Bobcats converge on it. Martin also digging away. Here's Reller tied up by Johnson. Johnson able to dislodge the puck, but Martin wins the race to it. Reller cutting to the net. Couldn't get it on goal. Heitzner loads it up and he missed. Heitzner again to Reller. Touch to Martin. And he tried one more pass, didn't work. Heitzner kept it in. Lavick takes a look. Over to Heitzner. Johnson knocked down away from the play. And the Bobcats score. As Alex Johnson was getting back to his skates, the Blue Ridge Bobcats have tied the game. It's Daniel Martin on the side of the post. Take another look. Watch Johnson there. Knocked down by Martin. Johnson's on the ice, and Martin on the back door, able to tap it home. And that's the conversation right now at center ice between Alex Johnson and the referees. Chris Paulin as well wants to have a word and take another look. Right there at the top of the near side faceoff circle, Martin cross-check right on Alex Johnson's back, and Johnson went down, and Martin ended up being the goal scorer, and that's what the Prowlers are so upset about. But either way, Bobcats have tied this game up. No matter how much the Prowlers are disappointed by it. Power play goal by Martin, assisted by Mercurio and Reller. And it's 2-all. 3 of the 4 goals so far in this game, power play goals. And that makes sense in a game with as many penalty minutes as we've seen. Here's Daly working in on his backhand. Didn't get it all the way in front before Federley cut it off. Radchenko walks in off a body. That looked like it hurt. Hit Ben Brockway. This one slipped all the way down. And icing called against Port Huron. And now another disturbance here between Daly and Federley. I think they're going to allow Ben Brockway to get a change here. He got hit with that puck in the hand-wrist area. It looked like his left hand. And he was in some pain. He's being checked out by Prowlers trainer Bridget Smith. Off this face-off. Federley switching spots with Price. Sends it down deep. Price after it. He'll get to it in the near side corner. Cycle for Bucell. Kept it moving. James fresh off the bench. Low to high. Parsons right back down where it came from. Andrioli chasing after it in the near side corner. They'll get hit from James as he moved it. Craig able to get into the offensive zone and get the puck deep. Parsons around to Bizal. At the red line, he dumps it around. Verostic stops it behind his cage. Perron for Erickson. The Bobcats look to move up. Tipped in by Heitzner. Johnson after it. Wheels behind the net and up ice. Looking towards Tecumseh. Pass was in his skate. Had a couple of Bobcats converging on him as well. Johnson will try it again. This time he goes to Bizal. Back to Johnson once more. Touch pass. Here comes Tecumseh trying to split through. Slows things down and heads off to the bench after he dumped it deep. Lavick or Ferosith just out of his reach. Graham to Lockney, back to Graham, walking in. Graham the shot, hit the bar. I think Verostic got a piece as well. Lockney walking up top. Tried to give it back to Brockway at the point, but Perron got his stick on it. Brockway fires it right back in. Lavick played it over to the near side boards, back to himself as he was harassed by a couple of Prowlers. Port Huron getting a change, and Lavick looking for an easier route out. Passes for Reller up the left wing side. Tried to bump it around Lockhart. That didn't work, and Lockhart sends it back into Bobcats territory. Bretzko spins. Wheeling up. Bretzko trips it by Lockhart, but Federley gets to the puck first. Off the glass, through everybody. Radchenko dumps it back in. Bobcats have to touch up to get back on sides. Still a delayed offsides right now. They'll try again to touch up, and now they do. Meanwhile, it's Lockhart fanning on a pass. Did get it up to Bucell, but Bucell didn't get a touch on it, so icing called against the Prowlers. 4:13 gone in period 2, the Hungry Howie's second period. Bobcats get a goal from Daniel Martin to tie things up.
Big shout out to everybody who made signs for the game tonight. Hold 'em up!
Face off will be to Cooper's right. Mercurio won it back. Bucell and Mercurio behind the net. Mercurio left it for Craig. Back to Mercurio. Mercurio walks up again. Pass was blocked by Federley. Ended up caroming back towards the Prowler net. Here's a centering feed by Heitzner. That was blocked away. And now Bucell skates out. Gets the red line. He gets it deep. Prowler's getting a wholesale change here as Heitzner starts it up to Craig. Morgan couldn't bounce it out of his own end. Now he does. He sends Morick after it. Erickson going back as well. Andrioli steps up, back to Erickson. Threw to Martin. Got it back, but pushed it down deep. Ferosith steps off the bench, and he fires one that would have gone high. It's gloved down by Cooper anyway. And we'll get a whistle and a face-off, and we'll take a timeout. Bobcats get a goal from Daniel Martin, a power play marker. Tie things up at 2 goals apiece. We'll be right back on the PHP Network. back here in Wytheville. Prowlers and Bobcats tied up at 2 goals apiece here in period number 2. It's been a good one so far. Both teams getting their opportunities, and now it's Slavic having to go back into his own end. He's harassed there. High flip out of the zone. Johnson gets down to make a play on it, and he dumps it deep. Perron throws on the brakes. Up the boards, Kazirev touched it to Martin. And then Martin run into the wall by Hikula. Farusith fanned on the pass. Kazirev came over to grab the puck anyway. Cycle to Martin, back to Kazirev, walking to the middle, down low, Perron! Save Cooper. It was attached to his mask, and it drops. Cooper able to cover it and get a whistle and a face-off. Draw will come to his right. Morick and Reller in to take the face-off. Comes to the wall. Bresco down low, but couldn't get it all the way deep. And Tim Morgan starts a counterattack. James into the offensive zone, wires it around. Morick and Bresco come together looking for that puck. Decumbus working up the wall, spins back deep. Tried to pull out to the middle of the ice. And instead now it's Daly slipping up in Klinecki's direction. Now Reller lost the handle. James off the glass out of the zone. Here comes Morick, 1-on-2. Sidesteps a check from Daly. Still got a piece of him. And Radchenko going the other way. Reller, wrist shot off the stick of Parsons and into the protective netting out of play.
Let's give a big shout out to Dylan Davis and Stacy Kelly. First hockey game here tonight.
Face-off will be back down in Cooper's end once again. Mercurio has Heitzner lined up right behind him. Jamie Bucell will try and win the face-off from him. Heitzner wristed over top of the net as it kicked right to him. And Cooper grabs the attempt from Andrioli as he wristed it from the blue line. Bobcats really getting the better of the play in the first few minutes of this second period. They're up on shots 5-2 in the frame, and they do have that power play goal. Andrioli slid it down to Heitzner. On goal, kick save Cooper with Craig right in front, and then Cooper forced to cover up a shot from Mercurio on the outside. Prowlers making a change here. Matt Graham's line and the top D pairing tasked with the challenge of getting out of their zone on this shift. Johnson wraps it all the way around towards Lockney, got through him, but it did get past Erickson and out. Andrioli kicked along, and then Mercurio picks off the pass from Favario. Mercurio's in, he scores! 3 unanswered for the Bobcats. They take their first lead of the night. And it's Mercurio off the turnovers. Favaro didn't get everything he wanted on that pass. And a short side rip from Michael Mercurio for his 5th goal of the season. Former Watertown Wolves captain Mike Mercurio.
Check the scoreboard, Bobcats fans. We just took the lead. Let's go!
The Prowlers now playing from behind as Federley tried to center. Verostic gave it to Federley in the corner. Bobcats able to escape that. Kazirev hands it off. Levick dumps it around. Oregon rims it up in Price's direction. Price digging away. And now Ferosith from the line. Blocked away. And here's Price for Federley. Able to tip it in. Price after it. Took a hit. Right, centered it all the way through. And now it's DeCumbis. All the way around the cage. Low to high. Lockhart taking a look. Fresh off the bench, it's Bazal on his backhand. His shot stopped by Verostic. And then gloved over to the corner by a Blue Ridge defender. Here come the Bobcats, 3-on-1. Martin to Kazirev, and DeCumbis got back to tie up Kazirev's stick. 3 Prowlers, 2 Bobcats, digging away in the far corner. Finally pops loose. Radchenko looking towards Klinecki, pass got through him. Lockhart up to Bazal. Bazal tried to flip it in. And it's turned the other direction. Reller. Down low, Bresco! The light went on, but the puck went off the side of the net. The horn is sounding. That puck never came close to crossing the line. Bobcats still with it in the Prowlers zone. And they say offsides as Radchenko couldn't keep it in. That wasn't even close to being a goal. Take another look. Bresco on his backhand. It hit the side of the net. The light turned on. Fans started cheering. And, I mean, nowhere near the goal line. Either way, we continue as we approach 9 minutes gone in period 2. Johnson waiting for it. Over to Favaro. Lead pass looking for a Hakula. Tipped in. Mercurio watched by Graham. Mercurio wheels around the net. Craig back to Mercurio. Hakula able to take it off of Mike Mercurio's stick. Now Graham harassed. Just sends it towards the Bobcats zone. Andrioli. Knocked down. And now it's Craig in the corner. Tried a centering feed. Favaro took it away. Graham pops it out for Lockney. Stepping in. Lockney between his legs and ended up dangling himself there as Verostic covers up for a whistle and a face-off. Lucas Lockney tried for a fancy move. Ended up getting stuck in his skates and he ended up just going down. We'll get the face-off to Verostic's right, or left, pardon me. Off the draw, sent on goal. And saved by Verostic. Kazirev works up the left wing side. At the red line, he dumps it deep. Oregon, reverse for Parsons. Bumped up to Federley. Now on to Price. Had it go through him. Perron and Bucell hustling after that puck. Lavick couldn't get through Federley on the first attempt, but got up to Martin on the second. Back to Lavick with plenty of skating room. The indirect feed didn't find Kazirev. Prowlers back the other way with numbers. Federley to Oregon. Down low looking for DeCumbis, and Lavick came all the way back to interrupt that play. Federley in front. Backhander by Oregon. Slipped off his stick. Oregon again, rising shot knocked down by Verostic. Lockhart at the line. Down to James. Try to put it on goal, and Lavick again getting his stick in the way. Brockway to Morick at the Bobcats blue line. Here's James, a shot off the side of the net. Lavick the other way, or Bresco, pardon me, now the other direction. Had his pocket picked by Graham. James, high flip. Rostic plays it right over to Daly. Rink wide feed has Reller working on Brockway. Reller to the net. Save Cooper. And he grabs the rebound. And a scrum ensues in the far corner. We'll take a timeout here. Bobcats with the lead, 3-2, just as soon as we're done. As Graham is not finished with whoever that is there. Looks like Andrioli, or Klinecki, pardon me. We will take a timeout. Bobcats with the lead here in Wytheville.
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
Explore 140 miles of stunning shoreline along Lake Huron in Michigan's Thumb Coast. Begin your adventure on a blanket of golden sand at one of our serene beaches. Connect with the historic atmosphere of our region's nautical influence and reconnect with friends under a blanket of stars. Plan your perfect getaway at bluewater.org.
Back here in Virginia, Prowlers trailing the Bobcats by a score of 3-2. We're looking for a pregame meal. Stop by Zip Sauce Burger, located in the Industrial Park Marathon. Zip Sauce, the official burger of the Port Huron Prowlers. We've had plenty of beef in this game. It's settled down now in this middle frame, but did see it start to heat back up just a little bit right before that TV timeout. Graham and Mercurio tie up, and they blow it dead off the face-off, and Lucas Lockney wants to know why, as he was heading up ice. This time they drop it, and play moves on. Mercurio picked off Graham's pass back to his defense. Puck bouncing around, and Favaro reverse to Johnson. Andrioli pinched in to keep it alive. Andrioli a wrister. Cooper had to be alert. Heitzner centering feed. Reed Cooper with a big save on Mercurio. He stared down Mercurio and won the battle. It stays 3-2 as Johnson moves it around to Heikkila. Heikkila skates back into it, into the offensive zone. Arttu Heikkila drew a penalty. And a power play coming up for the Prowlers, their fourth of this game. Denver Craig, the one heading to the box. Hooking is the signal and the call against Craig. Prowlers 2 for 3 on the man advantage so far. See if they can tie the score on it. Nick Favaro heading after this puck has both. Good turn to get away from Bresko. Now it's Federle, had it knocked away by Daly. Federle gets to it. They pass it across to Johnson. This play is onside. It was close, but they did say it is onside. Graham down to Federle. Floats it to Lockney. Favaro looking for the one-timer. He takes it, and he just shanked it. Graham looking in front for Federle. Puck bouncing around the crease. Verostic down, and he's able to make the save. Lockney let go the one-timer, missed it on the short side, and it caroms all the way to Prowler ice. Port Huron making changes. Barbaro. Pass back for Price. He has to head after it. 53 seconds and counting on this Port Huron man advantage. Price moves up with it. 3 Bobcats meet him at the blue line. Price, curling drag shot, just sent it wide. Bucell stepped into it, and that hits somebody, if not Verostic, then one of the bodies in front. Out comes Oregon. 25 to go on the man advantage for the Prowlers. As Oregon is taken down, puck's underneath him. A couple players digging for it. It's underneath a Bobcat, and Oregon's the one with it. Lockhart sets it up. Oregon back to Lockhart. 10 seconds left on the power play as Price forced back. Cycles it deep. Hakela tried to center for Price. That didn't work. One last clear as Craig steps out of the box. So the Bobcats successful on the PK, and they stay up a goal. Bazal sends it around, but Morick was offside at the Blue Ridge line. .537 left to go here in period 2. We take another look at the opportunity here, or we were, but play has begun. Radchenko spinning away from Morick. Drops it back to Klinecki. A veteran starts up, former FPHL Defenseman of the Year. Tossed high and all the way down off a Prowler stick. That was Morick who was closing in, so that's the reason for no icing. Parsons steps up. Parsons through center to the offensive zone, off to Decumbus. Parsons got leveled away from the puck. Penalty coming up against the Bobcats as Bazal got it on net. That was deflected, whipped right back across, and Federley fresh off the bench, able to grab it. Delayed penalty situation, so the Prowlers with a 6-on-5 attack. Hakela to the point to Parsons. Wrist shot through, looking for a tip. Couldn't find one. Favaro gets it before Verostic could, but the centering feed to Decumbus wouldn't work. And finally, we get the penalty call. As Parsons passed it off, it's Radchenko going to the box. And watch, Radchenko just levels Brian Parsons way after he released the puck. They'll call that every time. We will get a Prowlers power play when we come back here on the PHP Network.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Prowlers to their 5th man advantage of the night. They are 2 for 4 so far and trying to tie this game. As Dennis Radchenko sits in the box, 2 minutes for interference. Daly gets to that puck, bumps it back to Perron, and he fires it all the way down. Prowlers will have to chase. Barbaro drops it back to Federley. He had some trouble with Reller right on him. Indirect feed. Lockney couldn't bring it in. And the Prowlers having trouble getting going. Favaro skates into it. Puck bouncing and rolling. Here's Favaro. Wrister, he scores! A power play hat trick for Nick Favaro. And it's 3-all. He showed off the howitzer in the first period. How about the wicked wrister this time? The give and go, and Favaro. High glove on Verostic. So Bobcats 3, Favaro 3. Prowlers make good on that power play. They are 3 for 5 on the man advantage in this game. Came into tonight with the 10th ranked power play in the FPHL. Should certainly improve upon that. Craig sent it across the ice. Parsons skates into it. He'll try a rink wide feed, knocked down by Morick. Bounced back by the Bobcats. Here comes Mercurio working on Organ. Mercurio driving the net, and Cooper had the paddle down. Back the other way, Organ. Off of Morick's skate, back to Organ. Bucell takes the shot. Reiser, it drops behind Verostic, and Verostic covers it up. Organ thinks it went in. The referee is waving it off. We'll see. And Bucell tied up with Craig right now. Organ saying it went in. Prowlers are celebrating. We'll see if they go to review here. Tim Organ was emphatically raising his arms in celebration as Bucell's shot caught Verostic up high, bounced high in the air and dropped behind him. And Organ raised his arms in celebration. Chris Paul, the Prowlers associate head coach, wants to know if there's going to be a review. I mean, this is certainly worth another look, I'd say. Even if it didn't go in, it was close. You see Tim Organ pointing, and Jamie Bucell is tied up with Denver Craig. And they will head over to do an official review here. Well, the referees will hang out in the scorer's box and take a look at this one. 3:03 left to go in period number 2. This a critical play as the Prowlers are trying to regain the lead. Bobcats scored 3 unanswered to make it 3-2, but then Nick Favaro tied it up just moments ago. This would be the second Prowlers goal in under a minute. Austin Federley saying something to his associate head coach back on the bench. Prowlers may have to officially challenge this for the review. How many times have I talked about reading lips on this broadcast so far? And watch it drop. Unfortunately, we don't have a great angle behind the net here on the road. It was a quick review. Unless the review hasn't started yet. Austin Federley and Danny Martin having a conversation back and forth. Again, I can't see the puck there. That little black spot between Verostic's legs, those are the straps on his pants and the butt end of his goal stick. That's not the puck. Looks like the Prowlers are going to line up in the offensive zone. So it seems that this one will stay as no goal. And they'll keep going with the call on the ice. Not sure if the Prowlers officially challenged it or not. Either way, the Bobcats bench is getting a long explanation right now. And you see the Prowlers there getting set to line up in the offensive zone as if this is a save and no goal. Wojtek Zemlika is getting an explanation, still chatting with the referee over by his bench. Watch it pop high up in the air, and then right there you see it come down. And it's behind Verostic, but he's at the top of his crease, so there's lots of real estate in the goal crease where it could be, and then Verostic spins back to cover it up. Well, the Prowlers are going to a power play here as Denver Craig, who has seen a lot of the inside of the penalty box tonight, gets another opportunity to maybe put up some decorations in there. Six-man advantage of the night for the Prowlers. They are 3 for 5, and all 3 goals have come from Nick Favaro. So it stays no goal, but it is another Prowlers power play, and unsportsmanlike conduct the call after that little spat with Jamie Bucell behind the Prowler goal, or behind the Bobcat goal, pardon me. So see if the Prowlers power play can stay red hot here, but the pass back to Favaro was miscalculated. Federley drops it off for Favaro, and now Lockney. Graham floats it all the way across to Johnson. Federley, Favaro looking towards the net. Andrioli closes on Nick Favaro quickly. Federley, Favaro, Federley again. Wrists it through, and Verostic ready for it, and he has it in the glove. Federley, little no-look shot there. And Hunter Verostic was ready for it the whole time. We're here on switching up the power play unit. Bucell, Price, Hakela, Lockhart, and Organ on this man advantage unit. Off the draw, Price able to sweep it back to Lockhart, who had to settle it down. That puck was up on edge. Organ for Lockhart, off to Price, looking towards the net. Klinecki right in front of him. Goes down to Bucell. Back to Price. One-timer and a glove save by Verostic. Jamie Bucell got it right back to Price. Prowlers threatening on this power play so far. It's halfway over. Lockhart walks in. Off to the outside to Price. Back to Lockhart. Price once more. They continue to play catch. Price tried to go down low to Bucell. That was cut off by Hlavik, and he clears. 39 seconds left in this Prowlers power play. Organ. Swept it back to Lockhart. Chased by Heitzner. Lockhart for Federley. Works his way in. Federley makes a move, taken down. No penalty. It's just a clear for the Bobcats. Final 10 seconds ticking off the penalty to Craig. Favaro wheels up. Favaro gets in, cuts to the middle, saved by Verostic on the backhander by Nick Favaro. So we hit the final minute of play here in period 2. Craig out of the box. We're back to 5-a-side hockey. Well, coming up on the second intermission report here on the PHP Network, we will chat about this game so far, take a look at some out-of-town scores, upcoming schedule, and more. It's all coming up on the PHP Network. Kazirev trying to dangle in. Ferruth's shot hit a body. Back come James and Decumbis on the counter. Decumbis looking back towards James. They slipped it softly on Verostic, who covers up. And now Morik involved with Lavik. Everybody separated for another face-off in this final minute of the period. Prowlers with the last 5 shots on goal of the game. They were up 17-14 on shots in the frame, 32-31 in favor of the Bobcats for the entire contest. Off the draw, Radchenko hits the glass and it goes up out of play. So try it again from the same spot with a new biscuit. 35.9 is what it says here in the arena. It looks like somebody may have gotten hit over there by the glass, and Denis Radchenko trying to check on that fan. It looks like a young girl being helped down the stairs. Hopefully she at least got to keep the puck. Denis Radchenko and Alex Johnson were over there checking on her. They'll get medical attention, and we will finish up this second period as Daly swept it to Reller, who blew a tire. Favaro comes back in, slows up, and sends it down deep. Radchenko kept it moving in Daly's direction. Took a hit from Graham. Reller smacked at that puck, missed. Prowlers get back down low. Radchenko trying this side. Graham picked it off. Favaro tried to move it back down the wall, popped up in the air, comes out of the zone. Favaro with one last chance, and he waited too long to shoot it. And that will do it for 40 minutes of play, and we're tied up at 3 goals apiece. Shots in that middle frame favoring the Prowlers. Not sure if they'll count that last one from Favaro, but Prowlers did lead in the shots department 17-14 before that last one. And it's 32-31 Bobcats for the game right now. Once again, coming up in the second intermission report here on the PHP Network, highlights and analysis from this first 40 minutes. We have about as many goal highlights as we do fisticuffs and other extracurricular activities. We'll also take a look at the Prowlers' upcoming schedule. Home games this upcoming weekend. We'll detail the specialty nights, specialty jersey this upcoming weekend for the Prowlers, so we'll detail all of that. Out-of-town scores and much more. It's all coming up right here on the PHP Network. We will, of course, also hear from Ollie Urquhart back in our McMorran Place studio, so stick around for me and stay to hear from Molly back in Port Huron. Once again, it is 3-3 after 40 minutes of play in Wytheville, Virginia. Well, secure your seats for the Prowlers' next home game. That is Friday, November the 14th, as they take on the Indiana Sentinels for the very first time. Puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. and the pregame shows, or 7:05 p.m. You can get your tickets online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or by calling, or by scanning the QR code on your screen now. That's online at phprowlers.com/tickets, by phone at 810-985-6166, or scan that QR code on your screen now to experience the new McMorran Place entertainment atmosphere. It's been a lot of fun putting things together at McMorran Place. We hope to show it to you, all the cool new toys that we have for fan entertainment. We have a t-shirt cannon, by the way, folks, so be sure to be up and be ready to try and catch a t-shirt next time you're at McMorran Place. And your next opportunity is November the 14th for Hometown Heroes Night. And if you are a hometown hero or want to get a hometown hero group involved in the night, be sure to find our contact form on our website, phprowlers.com, or you can email groupsales@phprowlers.com to get your group involved. We'll be right back here on the PHP Network. Highlights and analysis coming up next here from Wytheville.
Come on, guys, hop in.
We're not getting in that thing. That thing's gross.
Yeah, I wore my nice pants today. This thing could use a detail.
Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody who could detail a boat? I think that guy could.
Hi, I'm Logan from Ballard's Detail. I can detail your boat. From oxidized and faded to smooth and glossy, our professional compounding and waxing process will get your boat looking new again. Contact us today at 810-956-8318. Visit us on Facebook at Ballard's Detail LLC.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening? Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch?
Spicy.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those pliers. No look behind the back pass. It's a hole play. I'll say, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers themed creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. Jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's a game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets. Please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milkhouse gave me 25% off my order.
Fats, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milkhouse, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Back here in Wytheville, Prowlers and the Bobcats knotted up at 3 goals apiece through 40 minutes of play. Will Wiggleman back with you here at Hitachi Energy Arena on the PHP Network. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. What a wild game this one has been. We have gone through it, and let's start all the way back at the beginning. 3 fights off of the first 3 consecutive face-offs. And it started with Ben Brockway making Carson Andrioli answer for his hit on Reggie Millette last night. And then we got Austin Federley and Justin Daly. That one was boiling all night last night. They didn't end up dropping the gloves then. They dropped the gloves tonight. Again, that was immediately off the next puck drop, and then off the next puck drop, Jamie Bussell and Kyle Heitzner go at it just for good measure. So we got that, and then eventually we did get to some hockey as the Prowlers went on a power play 2 minutes in, and Nick Favaro with a blast from the point, center point. Plenty of traffic in front. That made it 1-0 Prowlers at that point. Favaro added another later in the period. So he had 2 power play goals in that first period. But between those 2 goals, or after that, then Brandon Reller scored. But before that goal, then the Bobcats tied the game up. As you see, Alex Johnson knocked down there. This is actually the 3rd goal for the Bobcats. When Danny Martin scored, it was 3-2 Bobcats, and then Favaro wristed that one home, the hat trick goal for Nick Favaro, all 3 coming on the power play for Favaro, and that's where we stand. But what we missed here is after Nick Favaro's first goal, all hell broke loose behind the Prowler net. Well, there was already 3 Prowlers and 3 Bobcats in the penalty boxes for those fights we saw. Then you had Matt Graham and Michael Mercurio battling with each other after Alexei Kulikov was knocked down. We've not seen Kulikov since then. But they started going at it, and then see Kazirev and Parsons starting to go at it here. And this was the back half of all this scrum. There was a full scrum before all of this when Mercurio and Graham first started to get together. And then you see as they pull Graham and Mercurio apart, Kazirev and Parsons able to break off from the group a little bit and get involved together behind Reed Cooper. And then that situation exacerbated by Dennis Radchenko coming over to help out Kazirev. And finally that one got broken up, and not before a couple more face washes. And that was, again, back in the first period before most of those goals, just after the first Nick Favaro goal. And that is where we stand here, and we have finally gotten all the penalties from that whole interaction. So I'll read them now for you because I know it was a lot, but Matt Graham, Brian Parsons each got 2 minutes for roughing. Nikita Kazirev and Denver Craig each got 2 minutes for roughing. So all of that canceled out. You see, there's the original penalty coming against Parsons on Kazirev, and then Tim Morgan knocked down Kazirev right at the whistle. That's what sparked the whole thing. Then 10-minute misconducts were handed out to each Michael Mercurio, Nikita Kazirev, and Denver Craig for the Bobcats, as well as Brian Parsons. And you see Mercurio there throwing punches at Matt Graham. 3-3, our score here up on the board as the Prowlers and the Bobcats trying to wrap up this weekend series. This game is most certainly going to go way longer than anyone was expecting. We are already 2.5 hours into it, and we still have another period to play. For reference, most of these games, a regular FPHL game typically ends at about 2.5 to 2 3/4 hours if it ends in regulation. So we're already passing that in about 40 minutes of play. So it's been a wild contest here from Wytheville. 20 more minutes left to go. And by the way, these teams get to meet again 2 weeks from now. So lots more coming up here on the PHP Network Intermission Report. We will send it back to our McMorran Place studios with Molly Urquhart. She will take you through the out-of-town scoreboard, Prowlers' upcoming schedule, and the game stats, and then we will get you back to action here from Wytheville, Virginia, here on the PHP Network. And all that, again, coming up shortly. We will be right back.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Hey, it is Molly here, back at your Port Huron Prowlers home. And we just want to go over our upcoming schedule for you all. First time ever. Friday is Hometown Heroes Night, and we're going to celebrate by having a night to recognize who keep us safe in our community. We'll be honoring local police, fire, EMS, and other community heroes who serve us every day. The following day, we're going to have our Military Appreciation Night. To honor our military, we will be having people who serve our country and put their lives on the line to protect us honored during this game. We also will be having a swearing-in ceremony on the ice during the intermission and auction off game-worn jerseys that are military themed. So be sure to come in and join us for those games so you can go ahead and honor our heroes all together. The following week, right back here in Wytheville, you'll be with Will in Virginia again for another pair of 7:30 p.m. starts against the Bobcats. Those games will be live on the PHP Network. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our standings. All right, and taking a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. First off, we have the River Dragons and the Thunderbirds with a 3-6 score. Next up, we have our Wolves and Hat Tricks. The Wolves taking the win there with 7-4. The Sentinels versus Black Bears. The Sentinels were 1-6. Black Bears still keeping that lead. Moving on to the Makosins and the Rock Lobsters. Those guys have a 2-6 score. Zydeco, as well as the Breakers, are a 2-3 score. And last but not least, we have our Prowlers and the Bobcats with a 3-3 tie score at the moment. Now go ahead and take a look at our stats here.
Thank you, Molly. And take a look at our game stats here. Still finishing up updating that. But Prowlers with the advantage on the power play here. All three of their goals have come on the power play so far. They are 3 for 6. And let's get you those updated penalty totals now as the team's combining for a lot of penalty minutes. 105, if I am counting correctly, between these two teams. But shots 32-31 in favor of the Bobcats. It's a tight contest here in Wytheville, Virginia, as the Prowlers and the Bobcats get set for period number 3. And we will have it for you coming up shortly here on the PHP Network. Here live from Hitachi Energy Arena here in Wytheville, Virginia, as the referees are taking to the ice, and we will take one last time out before getting you to period number 3 from Blue Ridge.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Getting set for the start of period number 3 here in Wytheville. Prowlers and the Bobcats. Blue Ridge has hit the ice, and Port Huron soon to follow, as Hunter Verostic led the Bobcats back out. He has stopped 28 of 31 Prowler shots. Reed Cooper on the other side has stopped 29 of 32 Bobcat shots. It's been an entertaining one so far. As you see the Prowlers heading out of their tunnel, getting set for the start of period 3. Prowlers this season, when they have been tied heading into the third period, they are 2-0 this year in those situations. And they are also a perfect 5-0 when scoring the first goal, as they did tonight. We'll see if they can close this one out. Both goaltenders have had to come up with some humongous saves throughout this weekend. Face off at center ice between Brendan Reller and Matt Graham. The penalty totals are high. Will both sides get a point, or will somebody grab the lead here in the third? We are underway in the final frame of regulation. Reller grabs that puck, drops it off. Bresco spins back, puts it on goal, and Cooper steered it away. Puck bouncing on the fresh sheet of ice right to Lockney, as Hakela hustling up to join him. Lockney slows down, and he rims it all the way around. Bucell fresh off the bench, hunting for it. Bresco got there first. Reller leaves it for Andrioli. Skating up the right wing side, Carson Andrioli off for Craig. His pass hit Bucell and exited the zone. Radchenko up to Mercurio. Tossed it high and in. Johnson rims it up the wall in Bucell's direction. He takes a look and he hits Austin Federley streaking up the right wing side. Throws on the brakes. Down to Bobby Price. Prowlers in the midst of a change, so Price surrounded. Gave up the puck. Mercurio dumps it in. Craig couldn't center out in front. Switched to the boards by Organ. And now Radchenko back for it. At the red line for Craig. Wrist shot right into the chest of Reed Cooper. Cooper hang on for a whistle on a face-off. Get a look from Aiden Vision. Aiden Bricker, our videographer, here with us in Wytheville. Providing us with another camera angle that is something we don't usually get when we're on the road. Something we haven't gotten in the past for road games, so great to have that here on the PHP network. Slavic sent it through, and Cooper able to find it through the screen. Off the boards, DeCumbus slid it all the way down, looking for Bazal. But instead, that is an icing against the Prowlers. Again, another face-off deep in Port Huron territory. Martin and Morick on the draw. Oregon, Chase taken down. Prowlers probably want a penalty there that they won't get. Bizal floats it through, and Cooper able to make the save. DeCumbus off the boards, out of the zone. Here's Bizal. Has Morick hustling to the net. Bizal throws on the brakes. Trailers Oregon. Save Verostic. It's still loose, and Oregon scores, but they blew it dead. That puck was still loose, and a quick whistle from the referee may have stolen a goal from the Port Huron Prowlers. And, I mean, you can tell from this angle, you see where the referee is standing, you can't tell that that puck is loose from this angle. So, can't really fault the referee too much for it, as he couldn't see it. The referee's trained to blow the whistle as soon as he loses sight of the puck. But that's a tough one for the Prowlers. Andrioli wheels it up to Reller. Bresco and Brockway after it. Brockway quickly up the boards. Erickson on net. That was blocked high up in the air, and it escaped the playing surface. Again, another face-off deep in the Prowlers' end. Bobcats up 3-1 on shots in the early going of this final frame of regulation. Bucell and Reller set for the face-off. Bucell won it over to the boards. Reller cycled it down to Hlavic, or Bresco, pardon me. Favaro, nice move around Daly, gets to Federley. Into the offensive zone, drops it off for Johnson, who had to reach back for it. Johnson with it, trying to center for Price, couldn't get a shot through. Bucell loads it up, a drive swallowed up by Verostic, and he has it, and then Price wrestled down to the ice. Bucell has a hold of Daly. And no shock, it's Robin Erickson right there in the middle of it. He was the one that took down Bobby Price. Everybody separated, and both teams will make some changes here. So we approach 3 minutes gone in period 3.
Congratulations, your winner once again, 565-878. Head over to the raffle table and collect your number 44 blue jersey.
Draw will be to Verostic's right. Off this face-off, comes to the point. Prowlers get it back down deep. They dig away, pops out to Bazal, steps up and shoots, and a stick save by Verostic. Johnson fires it back down and around. As Morick just getting back to his skates, so is Craig after the big collision. Radchenko headed off to Mercurio. Michael Mercurio takes a look. High flip, glove down by Lockney. And he swings his way into the offensive zone, has help going to the net. Lockney all the way around the cage. Out towards Graham, all the way across to Parsons. Back down deep it goes. Hakula pulls it off the wall to the line. And past Parsons, went off his stick. He needs to chase it down. Slipped it over to Organ. Graham keeping it at the line only momentarily. Graham across to James fresh off the bench with Lockney going to the net. Lockney got a touch on it, and Verostic made the save. Verosith, rink wide feed for Heitzner. His shot stopped by Cooper, and he clamps the glove back down on the rebound. Prowlers getting their opportunities. But the Bobcats with a good chance here as Heitzner, you see Cooper made the save but juggled it just slightly. Able to clamp the glove on top and get the whistle. Federley to the left wing side to James. Federley heading towards the net, or Price, pardon me, Price hit the outside of the post. Martin. Kazirev, right wing sides for Rousseff. Lockhart trying to push it along. Got it through, only as far as the line. Perron on net. Martin ended up blocking the shot, but couldn't control it to get an attempt away of his own. Carson Andrioli into the offensive zone. Gets past Brockway. Andrioli up to Martin. Andrioli centering feed off of Cooper's stick. Still bouncing around. Martin finally controls it. Johnson, one-hand poke, just gets it out of the zone. Now he skates into it. Johnson bounces it to the outside to Graham. Bresco around the net. Touched along to Daly. Working on Johnson. Daly slows up, fed it through, and Cooper gets the glove down and covers up for a whistle and a face-off. We'll be right back here in Wytheville, still 3-all, early stages, period 3.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorrin fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4. Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Beautiful sunset here in Wytheville, Virginia. Saw some people tailgating out in the parking lot early. A couple of people tossing some bean bags. It's a great culture they built down here in Wytheville, Virginia. And again, beautiful, beautiful atmosphere. They're outside the Hitachi Energy Arena. 3-3-hour score between the Prowlers and the Bobcats. Off this face-off, Prowlers rim it around. And we'll go all the way down for an icing. Actually, icing waved off here. Good hustle by DeCumbus. He has the puck. Centering pass. And unable to get a good attempt on net there was Morick. He got a touch on it, but couldn't direct it towards the cage. High toss in. Near side corner. It's Johnson. Couldn't get his pass out of the zone. DeCumbus got it to the line. Bresco brings it back in. And now DeCumbus with skating room. Play it in off the boards, head after it himself with his team in the midst of a change. Bresco fired that one off the glass, and then it bounced to the middle of the ice. Heitzner gave it away. Federle right back in. Federle waits for help. Plays it around. Price quickly on goal. Went all the way around, and Parsons just couldn't keep it in at the line. Price up for Federle. Tossed it in Bucel's direction, knocked down by Klenecki. Back the other way, Hlavik's pass picked off by Federle. And then Bucel knocked down with a hard check by Hlavik. Klenecki up the right wing side. Klenecki going end to end, swept it across the middle of the ice, nobody home for Blue Ridge. Brockway flags it down. Stops up behind his net. In no hurry. Steps out. Two-line pass cut off by Hlavik. Farusith. His shot gloved down by Cooper, and he'll hang on for a whistle and a face-off. Ray Cooper now up to 33 saves, make it 34 saves in this game now. Martin and Bucel for this faceoff. Versith off the backboards. Federle on for Price. And now Bucel working in, sidestepped. A big hit from Andrioli. Favaro works his way in. Around behind the net, Price tied up with Andrioli. Price taken in by Andrioli and Erickson. Prowlers making a change here, so Martin able to skate out. Four white sweaters meet Danny Martin at the Prowler blue line. Farutza's shot blockered out of play by Cooper. Well, the Prowlers are on the ice, so enjoy a glass of Proper 12 Irish whiskey. Proper 12, the official shot of the Port Huron Prowlers. Please drink responsibly. Face off to Cooper's left. Morick and Reller in for it. Push to the line. Klenecki wraps it all the way around. Morick hustling after it. Daly through the shoulder into Parsons. And now DeCumbis skating up. He had his stick tied up. Klenecki working east to west. Oregon comes flying up to make a play on the puck, and he pitchforks it out. Bobcats loading up another attack. Bresco in on Cooper, who gloves it down and hangs on for a whistle and a face-off. $11 and a half left in this one, at least in regulation. Graham and Mercurio in for this draw. Graham won it back, and Lockhart will bounce it up in Heikkala's direction. Heikkala going to make a play on that puck. It's skated out by Perron. Across to Craig. Craig trying to get back to it. Lockhart had a bit of trouble with it. It's rimmed up the boards and out of the zone. Now Heitzner into Mercurio. His shot off a stick, and it rainbowed over top of the net. Played to the middle of the ice to nobody. Price got it up to Bucel, kept it moving. No icing here as it went off a Bobcat stick. Andrioli had Price coming in on him. Price stole the puck. Price still with it. Taken in by Hlavik. Martin and James digging as well. Out comes Martin with it. 3-on-3. Martin drops it off. Heitzner didn't get much on that shot. Erickson, shot blocked by Bucell. Linesman lost an edge trying to get out of the way. It's James with a soft touch on it. Prowlers trying to make a change. Ferusith comes back in. Martin out the wall to Ferusith. Took a hard hit from Morick. Players battling, and finally Favaro able to dig it free. Off the boards out of the zone, Erickson for Andrioli. And then Andrioli took a hit from Morick, but Morick ended up taking the worst of it. Here comes Bazal into the offensive end. His shot stopped, rebound, and another save by Verostic on Vinny DeCumbis. And now everybody grabbing each other. Erickson and Bazal, the main event this time. We will take a timeout. Hunter Verostic with not one but two saves on the Prowlers to keep it tied, and then things broke loose.
Discover everything banking should be with Advia Credit Union, like earning real financial advantages. You can earn up to $1,000 with your new account. Plus, save an average of nearly $4,000 in interest when refinancing. Get started with a low-rate credit card balance transfer. Enjoy easy access to your money anytime, anywhere. Make the switch today at adviacu.org/real people. Advia Credit Union. Real advantages for real people.
So it seems the Prowlers are getting a man advantage after all of that. Carson Andrioli's number is up on the board. Good catch by our graphics team back home at McMorran Place. Andrioli the only one sitting in either penalty box. Michael Mercurio having a conversation with both referees. Again, Mercurio, former captain of the Watertown Wolves. Ended up here in Blue Ridge after a brief stop. 0 games played for the Baton Rouge Zydeco, but was traded there last season. Didn't report there, so instead they shipped him off to the Bobcats. Finished with 37 points on 14 goals and 23 assists in 32 games split between the Wolves and the Bobcats last season. Scored a big goal here in this building during the Bobcats Continental Division wild card game against those Baton Rouge Zydeco. Bobcats ended up winning that before getting swept by the then Carolina Thunderbirds, now Twin City Thunderbirds, in the opening round. The Prowlers begin this power play, and now will be a 5-on-3. Stas Radchenko was hunting for bodies up there in the bleachers. And the Prowlers with a lengthy 5-on-3 opportunity. This will be their 7th and 8th power plays of the game. Delay of game against Radchenko. And a minute 55 seconds of 5-on-3 time here for the Prowlers. Of course, last night, late in the game, a tie game, they did get a long 5-on-3 and were not able to convert, and eventually gave up a shorthanded goal on the 5-on-4. Favaro with a hat trick already in the game, gets it down to Price, switches spots. Favaro looking towards the net, didn't like what he saw, fed it to Graham. Graham tried to stop it, save Rustic, and he covers up. Mercurio grabs a hold of Matt Graham. Graham, Johnson, Hakela, Price, and Favaro, this 5-on-3 unit. Chris Paulin over on the Prowlers bench is drawing something up for what will presumably be the next unit heading out there. Favaro for Price on the near half wall. They switch spots. Price down to Johnson, back to Price. Walks, Favaro. Graham, backdoor feed, and was a bit out of the reach of Alex Johnson. Johnson curls to the middle, takes the shot, save Verostic. I think Alex Johnson may have been looking for a deflection there, and now Chris Paulin sends out the next power play unit. Will consist of Federley, Bucell, Lockhart, Lockney, and Organ. Tied up off the draw. Lockney able to win it back to Organ. Lockhart gets it down deep to Federley, and the Prowlers set up. Bucell lined up right in front of Verostic. Lockhart, Federley fake the one-timer. Now he goes to Organ. Walks across. Lockney. Organ again, still no shot. Organ takes it, save Verostic. Daly trying to get to the rebound, and he does. And Daly will chip it down ice. 40 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Organ moving up. Goes on the brakes, walks the blue line. Organ for Lockhart, back to Organ. Wasn't in the wheelhouse for the one-timer. Now Bucell trying to take advantage of the bounce off the boards. It lays there. Verostic down. They dig away, and Verostic has it. And now another pile up. Lavick has Federley pinned on the back of the net. Meanwhile, I think it's Mercurio going after Jamie Bucell, and they're being separated by linesmen. That puck came hard off the boards, a lively bounce here. Federley tried to jam it, couple of stuff attempts. Verostic using a big frame. And now players heading to the boxes. Bucell, you see him still chatting with Mike Mercurio. Still a Prowlers 5-on-3 for 17 more seconds unless more penalties go up on the board. And Mercurio and Bucell still going at it. You see them there, and finally they'll each decide to take a seat, but they're not done talking. Prowlers 5-on-3 will resume. They switch back to their first unit. Unsportsmanlike conduct to both Bucell and Mercurio. Price for Favaro. Back to Price. Walks, gets to the middle, slipped it down low. Hakala got a chance on net. That Verostic juggled. Hakala again, final seconds ticking off the penalties. Graham in front, and Verostic shuts down Alex Johnson on the doorstep. Still 4 seconds until Radchenko steps out to make it back to full strength. But the Bobcats almost out of the woods here. Johnson came in right at the top of the crease, maybe in a bit too tight. In case you were curious, the barking has not stopped between Mercurio and Bucell. At the line, Parsons wrists it, deflected, it's loose, and it's bumped out to where Radchenko is coming out of the penalty box. The Bobcats with a huge kill, now move up. Heitzner trying to get back to it. Move to the line, Klenecki backhands it deep to Cumbus. Dinks it for Parsons, he wasn't ready for it, and Martin takes over. Klenecki trying to step around Bazal. Got it down deep, Radchenko dumped by Organ. Bazal comes in for the loose puck. Got it only as far as Klenecki at the point. Play it to an area. Martin, Radchenko back to the line. Andrioli, a wrister blocked by Morik. And Morik knocked down. DeCumbis trying to hustle after it. And Andrioli got his stick in DeCumbis' feet. And Carson Andrioli is heading to the penalty box. Great work by Vinny DeCumbis. The hustle to draw the penalty, and maybe the Prowlers can set something up here on the 5-on-4. Now watch DeCumbis at the top of your screen, stick right there in his legs. They call it hooking. And another chance here for the Prowlers, power play. And it comes back to Favaro. We haven't mentioned it yet. We'll mention it again. Nick Favaro, 3 power play goals already in this game. Johnson, the one-timer, hit the crossbar. Tic-tac-toe passing, and Johnson caught iron. Lockney for Graham. Down to Johnson, trying to back pass out in front, nobody there. Favaro couldn't keep it in at the line as the Prowlers begin to change. 30 seconds gone in the man advantage. Prowlers knocking on the door. We'll see if they can burst through it. Lockney steps in, over to Graham. Fakes the shot, had it knocked off his stick. Graham trying to fight off checks from Radchenko. Got to Johnson. Up high, Lockhart brings in the hot pass. Lockhart lost the handle, got it back, walks in, over to Price, let it go, and Verostic got a piece. Price again, down low, Graham tried a one-touch pass it, that didn't work. Johnson in tight drag down, got a shot away. Johnson recollects. Hassled by Klinecki. Moved up the wall, Lockhart gets it down to Lockney. 30 seconds left on the Prowlers power play. Lockney turns the corner. Took a bump. Lockney to the line. Lockhart down to Lockney. Lockhart again. Over to Price. Across Lockney, the one-timer. And that throws into the protective netting, out of play with 5:01 left to go in period 3. And 13 seconds left on the penalty to Carson Andrioli. Prowlers switch things up. Luke James getting some power play time here. Actually, James will be sent off the ice. Off the draw, won by Martin. He'll try and clear it himself. Lockhart gets down on his knees to block it. Organ walks in, down low, Hakala, back to Organ, and a save, Verostic. He'll hang on, and then Price hassled by 3 Bobcats. Three seconds still on the penalty to Andrioli. We will have it for you when we come back here on the PHP Network.
Discover 1195 Gastropub in Marysville. Burgers, pizzas, apps, and pub favorites like filet mignon and grilled salmon. Open Monday to Friday, 4 to 9 p.m., weekends 12 to 9 p.m. Join us for happy hour, Monday to Thursday. Enjoy half-off bottles of wine every Wednesday, and don't miss Thirsty Thursday with $4 draft beers. Great food, cold drinks, good times. That's 1195 Gastro Pub.
It's time to wake up on the sunrise side of Michigan. Wake up to beautiful beaches. Wake up to vibrant urban landscapes. Wake up to unique eats. Wake up to charming coastal towns. Wake up to cozy entertainment. Wake up to Michigan's Thumb Coast. Plan your perfect wake-up call using bluewater.org.
We invite you to tune in to our next broadcast. That'll be Friday, November the 14th, when the Prowlers take on the Indiana Sentinels. puck drop is scheduled for 7:05 p.m. and the pregame show starts at 6:45. It's all right here on the PHP Network. That, of course, is a home game. So if you can make it out to McMorran Place, we want to see you there. phprowlers.com/tickets is your hookup. Andrioli in the box for 3 more seconds. Bobcats win the draw. Prowlers have to watch. Favaro backing up, and the pass comes to Andrioli. We're back to 5-a-side hockey with under 5 to go. Slavic across the Heitzner. Drive, missed it wide. And Andrioli upends James along the boards. Meanwhile, Morick on the puck behind his net. Parson steps up to Morick. Makes a move on Andrioli. Morick gets into the offensive zone. Brett Morick still battling with Andrioli. Puck comes around all the way to Brockway at the line. Looks towards the net. Instead, he'll rim it back around to the other side. Lockney cycles forward to Cummins. In front looking for Morick. And Heitzner stepped in front of that. Brockway all the way back in his own end. Towards Lockney off his skate. And that split the two Bobcats who were looking for that loose puck. Kept in by Graham. Skated back out by Radchenko. Up to Faruseth. Faruseth, nice move. Across, diving play by Hakala. Kept it from getting to Danny Martin. Radchenko couldn't keep it in. They dig away just outside the Prowler blue line. Johnson now gets the red and he'll fire it around. Verostic waits for it there for Klinecki. 3:15 left to go in regulation. Up comes Reller to Daly. Try to go back to Reller. And Favaro able to knock that one away. Here's Bucell. Gets to the red line, gets it deep. Federley centered out in front and a save for Rustic on Bobby Price. And more activity in the blue paint. Hunter Verostic comes up with another huge stop. Prowlers dominating in shots in this third period, 21-8. That's after last night. They had 24 in the third period. Their most in any period this season. They're up to 52 in the game. Second time they've surpassed 50 shots on goal this season. The other time was last night as well. Daly up the boards. Organ collects at center, tried to go over to Morick. Instead, it's bounced up. Lavick, or Brezko, pardon me, off of Morick, and it drops to Daly. All by himself, surrounded, so he'll dump it in. Organ up the boards to James, just touched it out of the zone. Bobcats regroup. Mercurio, high toss in, glove down by Organ. Gets back to it, puck pops high up in the air, and a nice catch by a fan in row 3. .2:16 left in regulation. Neither of these teams have gone beyond 60 minutes yet this season. Don't forget, it could last through the final minute. Bobcats scored the game winner with under a minute to go in last night's game. Lockhart went off the boards, goes all the way down. Icing waved off, though. So Verostic forced to stick handle with it. Hakala stepped right in front of Mercurio. The Bobcats recover. Here comes Craig, working on Lockhart. Craig tried to sweep it on net. That one ends up over the glass, out of play. With 1:45 left to go in period 3. Not too much action down in the end to our right in this third frame, but we'll get a face-off there now. Martin and Bucell. And Bucell won it back. Bavaro trying to shove off Kazirev. Johnson up towards Federley. Couldn't get it. Johnson retrieves in his own end. Fed it up the wall. Goes all the way down. No icing again. Klinecki trying to get past Federley. Price takes over in his own zone. So a wall of gray sweaters knocked out of the air with a high stick by Martin. And touched next by Ferusith. So with 69 seconds left in regulation, we'll get a whistle and a face-off. We'll see where they put it. Chris Paulin trusting his third line here. Morick will draw against Reller. Carson steps up, rims it around. Perron for Bresco. High flip, glove down by James. James works in, throws on the brakes. Tried to cycle it down deep to Cumbus there. Morick, centering feed, taken away by Daly. Daly rims it all the way around. It will head down towards the Prowler goal line and just died quickly enough to get the no icing signal. Morick dumped by Lavick. Well, Graham digging away against two Bobcats. Lockney comes in to help out. Up comes Heitzner with 25. Three Prowlers back. Heitzner sent it right through to Cooper, and he clamps the glove on top for a whistle and a face-off. 19.6 up on the board here at Hitachi Energy Arena. What a game this has been. Graham and Mercurio in on this face-off. Graham won it back, a huge win. Favaro off the boards, up towards Heikkila. Heikkila weaves in. Heikkila out to Graham on his backhand. 70 feet Lockney. He scores with 6.7 on the clock. Lucas Lockney, who scored his first goal of the year last night, has put the Prowlers in front in the dying moments. What a play here. Heikkila finding Graham in space, and one of the best passers in FPHL history. A beauty. That's a backdoor tap for Lucas Lockney. And the Prowlers look like they'll walk out of here with 3 points.
Correction number 25, Alex Johnson. Let's try that again, number 28, Artur Heikkila.
So R2 Heikkila and Matt Graham get the assist. And the Prowlers with 6.7 seconds separating them from a win and a continuation of their perfect Saturdays this season. And here's Martin trying to change that. Glove save Cooper. He hangs on. And we get one more draw with 2.6. And I just want to remind the folks at home, the clock you see on your scorebug is not the clock in the arena. That is the official clock. This is our unofficial clock, which can be a little bit off, can be perfect, we'll see. But a timeout called here by the Blue Ridge Bobcats. Hunter Verostic will surely be on the bench. Please do stick around for the post-game show here on the PHP Network. We will speak with our Gunther Graphics player of the game, get the full locker room reaction. Molly, back at McMorran Place, will run us through the highlights, everything that went on throughout this game. What a game it has been from start to finish. Yes, this game has taken 3 hours and 15 or so minutes to complete. However, it has been a heck of a contest. Entertainment throughout. They break huddle. Bobcats with Heitzner, Martin, Reller, Mercurio, Plavic, and Daly. Prowlers have their top centerman, Matt Graham, to take the draw against Brandon Reller. Plavic lined up at the top of the circle. Graham wins it, and the Prowlers win it on a last-second goal by Lucas Lockney. Port Huron earns the split in Wytheville. What a game! The Prowlers eke it out 4-3, your final. And Lucas Lockney gets a hero's recognition. Reed Cooper gets a hero's recognition as he was perfect in that third period. Nick Favoro, the hat trick. And a game that looked destined for overtime. The Prowlers score on their 23rd shot of the third period, 54th shot of the game. And that's the game winner from Lucas Lockney. Once again, post-game show, highlights and analysis from Ollie Urquhart back in our McMorran Place studios. Also take a look at the final game stats, the locker room reaction, and more. And of course the Prowlers with their prayer circle as they do at the end of each and every game. What a victory. And what a weekend. Can we talk about that? 2 games between these teams and 2 games that are decided with a game-winning goal in the final minute of regulation. Are you ready for 2 weeks from now when they'll be right back here, Prowlers and Bobcats again for 2 more games? I mean, that will be must-see TV. We'll hope to see you then. We hope to see you at McMorran Place on Friday, November the 14th, when the Prowlers host the Indiana Sentinels' first ever games between the Prowlers and Sentinels this season. 7:05 p.m. puck drop and a 6:45 pregame here on the PHP network, but also want to see you at McMorran Place. You can get your tickets now at phprowlers.com/tickets. Post-game show is next from our McMorran Place studios.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass? That's a whole play, LJ, come on. Gap up, close the gap. Close the gap, what are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go
Go
Prowlers!
Prowlers!
Hockey is like a business. One missed pass can derail the perfect plan. Have Taft Consulting help you get your whole team on the same page. They have the expertise to help you follow through on all your goals. Find out how they can help you today by emailing taftconsulting@outlook.com.
What's more authentic than a Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza? Nothing. We're not playing around with the pizza of our birthplace. Thick crust, cheese to the edge, sauce on the top. Where it belongs. We've seen a lot of fakes out there. Not here. This is authentic Detroit-style pizza. Order yours now online for $12.99. We sauce the top and rep for the 313 everywhere. We do bold. Hungry Howie's!
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is. What is happening? Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch? Spicy. Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack wrap is back.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Hi, what can I get for you?
I'd like some McMorran fries, please.
All right, that's going to be $4. Okay.
She shoots, she scores with the new Prowlers debit card.
Don't you have somewhere to be? The game's on.
Get your Prowlers debit card only at Flagship Community Federal Credit Union, located on Lapeer Road in Port Huron. Flagship Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Hi, welcome.
I'm just checking in, and I have a service animal.
Service animal?
Do you have anything on the ground floor so I can let him out at night?
Keep up with your Prowlers all season long on social media. Follow us on Facebook at the Port Huron Prowlers, Instagram at PH Prowlers, and Twitter at PH Prowlers. And you can find more information on our website, phprowlers.com.
Hey there, friends and family of our Port Huron Prowlers. What an absolutely electric ending to that game. Amazing today. We had a hat trick. We had our last minute goal here. How about we go ahead and do a little replay of those goals for our friends and families here. And first up, we have Nick Favaro starting off with that first goal. Wow. After all those scrums, moving into that second goal with a slap shot. Absolutely incredible. Gotta cheer on your teammates. And we have that third goal coming in from the Blue Ridge Bobcats. So we got to keep our spirits high. We got to see what the next move is. And that next move, oh no, we had someone fall down. But the Blue Ridge Bobcats did unfortunately score another goal on us. But let's take a look here and see. We got someone moving, and that person moving was Nick Favaro one more time for that hat trick. Absolutely incredible tonight. And last but not least, scoring in those final moments is Lockney, who scored for us last night in the game, and he got that winning goal. As you can see, him and all of his teammates are so stoked to be able to share this win together. And we are so proud of our Prowlers here. I hope they are feeling amazing. Now let's move into our out-of-town scoreboard for the night. Back again with the River Dragons and the Thunderbirds, ending with a 3-6 score. Moving on next to our Wolves and our Hat Tricks, and they ended with a 7-4 score. Wolves winning there. Next is the Sentinels as well as the Black Bears. The Black Bears once again keeping their lead with a 6-1 score. And then we have the Moccasins as well as the Rock Lobsters with a 2-6 score. Moving into Zydeco as well as the Breakers. They have a 2-3 score for the Breakers. And last but not least, here at the end of the night, we have our Prowlers versus Bobcats ending with a 4-3 total. And moving on to a break.
Come on, guys, hop in.
We're not getting in that thing. That thing's gross.
Yeah, I wore my nice pants today. This thing could use a detail.
Well, I don't know. Do you know anybody who could detail a boat?
I think that guy could.
Hi, I'm Logan from Ballard's Detail. I can detail your boat. From oxidized and faded to smooth and glossy, our professional compounding and waxing process will get your boat looking new again. Contact us today at 810-956-8318. Visit us on Facebook at Ballard's Detail LLC.
SMR Automotive Systems is part of the Motherson Group and a proud community sponsor of the Port Huron Prowlers. We are one of the largest manufacturers of rearview mirrors for passenger vehicles in the world, with local plants in Port Huron and Marysville. We strive to support our local communities and have positions available for various abilities and experience. Find out more about who we are at smr-automotive.com.
Hello, I'm home.
There he is.
What is happening? Relax. We won. They brought back the snack wrap. Spicy or ranch? Spicy. Yeah, go. Yeah. Just one little bite. Can you stop? Oh, sorry.
Gather your crew. Snack Wrap is back.
This isn't working. LJ, pass me those flyers. No look behind the back pass. It's a whole play. I'll say, come on. Gap up. Close the gap. Close the gap. What are we saying? This isn't working. We need a shift change. Let's bring in the professionals.
Head over to the Birchwood Mall for your shopping and entertainment needs. Hop on the carousel, shoot some hoops, or visit some of their great stores such as Gerlach's Woodworks, where they specialize in handcrafted wooden decorations. Add to your fan cave a Prowlers theme creation. Upgrade your bathroom at Luxury Bath Mobility Remodelers. They can fully customize your bath or shower to fit your needs, and they also do flooring. For the sports fan in your life, pick up a unique gift from Pro Edge Sports. Jam-packed with all kinds of memorabilia. There's something for everyone. And it's not a trip to the mall without Auntie Anne's pretzels. Grab a freshly made full-size cup of pretzel bites and wash it down with some frozen lemonade. At the Birchwood Mall, you can find this and more. Visit them on 24th Ave in Fort Gratiot.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, we just stopped at Industrial Park Marathon to get some fuel and some snacks before the Prowlers game at McMorran.
Nice. Yeah, we just stopped by here at Industrial Park Marathon so I can get a Slurpee before the game.
Wait till after the game. If the Prowlers score 3 or more goals, Slurpees will be free.
Thanks for the info. I'm going to get my Slurpee after, but we'll see you at the Prowlers game.
See you at the game. Go Prowlers!
Prowlers!
Yeah, I don't know about this one, fellas.
Boys, we don't overcome adversity by backing down. But yeah, I don't know about this one.
That's reassuring.
We're so screwed.
All right, boys. Here's the game plan. LJ, you start with bananas. B-Way.
Wait, why do I have to do the bananas?
Because you're the softest on the team.
I don't want the bananas.
This thing is gonna melt. We gotta hurry up.
I won't do it.
Okay, both of you. I will do the bananas and the whipped cream. Fets, please continue.
Who's paying for this anyway?
I am. I just bought my tickets for the Prowlers game this weekend, and the Milk House gave me 25% off my order.
Fets, why'd you buy the tickets? You're literally on the team.
For the discount.
So are you all ready to give it a try?
Oh, we're ready.
It's true. Get 25% off your entire order at the Milk House, October through April. Simply show your ticket stubs at checkout and enjoy your discounted treat.
And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in on this very long but extremely rewarding game. I'm going to go ahead and send it back to Will in Virginia when he speaks with Coach Paulin and Nick Favaro. Down to you, Will.
Thank you, Molly. Back in our McMorran Place studios. What a game we had. And we got a chance to talk with our Gunther Graphics player of the game, Nick Favaro, who had a hat trick tonight. All right. I'm with tonight's Gunther Graphics player of the game, Nick Favaro. Hat trick for you, all three on the man advantage. What was working on the power play tonight?
I think we were just moving it around well, and, the puck kind of dropped for me in really good spots, so... shout out to all the other guys on the unit, and great to see them all go in.
2 games this weekend, both decided on last-minute goals. I mean, what a weekend. You excited to come back here in 2 weeks to see these guys again?
Yeah, it'll be exciting. I mean, that was big for us to respond after yesterday's game, and big plays by all of our leaders stepping up throughout the first minute of the game. So, they got us going, and big win, and I'm sure it'll be another exciting game when we come back in 2 weeks.
And for the fans at home, through that entire long, referees are spending 2, 3, 5 minutes over there at the box. How are you guys trying to just stay loose? Because it was right at the start of the game. You hadn't really gotten into it yet.
I mean, we're kind of used to it at this point, but just skate around, try to stretch, and, stay focused because, it's going to be an intense game, especially after all the scraps and the chippy games. So, it's going to be a feisty game.
All right, we'll see you back at McMorran Place next weekend.
All right, thank you.
As tonight's Gunther Graphics player of the game, Gunther Graphics, your go-to guy for logos, websites, and branding. And again, Nick Favaro, the hat trick tonight, your Gunther Graphics player of the game. Let's dive into his performance here. First hat trick of the season for the Prowlers. All 3 of his goals coming on the man advantage. They were the first 3 goals for the Prowlers in this game. He scored the 2 blasts in that first period, then the wrist shot in the second period, and that really got the Prowlers going offensively until the big goal from Lucas Lockney right there at the end. And I chatted after with Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin to give his thoughts on the game. I'm with Prowlers associate head coach Chris Paulin after tonight's 4-3 win. And Coach, it's never over until the buzzer sounds in the third period. Learned that this weekend. How about the resilience from your team, playing to the final horn?
Gutty effort. Very gutty effort. It starts at the beginning of the game. You look in the penalty box, you see our 3 captains, our head coach, No other team in the world can say something like that. These guys lead by example. I said it, we have the only head coach in the league that not only says it, goes out and does it, leads by example, protects everyone out there. These guys are warriors, and it was like 4 hours ago, but we showed it right off the hop.
Both games this weekend, you get to the final minute, and both teams have a point in their pockets, and then all of a sudden it ends in regulation. Just what went on this weekend? I mean, what's going on in these final minutes?
Yeah, these were crazy games, but I was really proud of the way. I mean, obviously the result's great, but we put a lot of emphasis on how we're going to break out and how we're going to break out significantly better than yesterday. And then, of course, you see it on the game-winning goal. Perfectly executed D-zone draw. The breakout, the zone entry was perfect, and then everybody landing at the proper spots. And then Graham, there's very few people who can make a pass like that. And Graham puts it on a tee, and Lockney, he was hungry. He sat on the bench before that shift. He was hungry, and he went out there and made no mistake.
He was hungry. He wanted to get dinner.
No, he was hungry. He wanted to get 3 points is what he wanted.
Thank you, Coach Paulin. Prowlers back home next weekend. You ready to see the home fans again?
We're excited. We love playing at the McMorran. Our game travels anywhere, so I'm excited for this week. I think we got to get a little bit of rest here, and then it's going to be a grind this week as we get ready for Indiana. We're excited for a new division opponent here.
All right, thank you, Coach. Safe travels home.
You got it.
And that was Prowlers Associate Head Coach Chris Paulin following tonight's game. And before we head out, let's take one last look at the full stats from this game. And lots of penalty minutes, of course, as we knew about. 71-41, the final totals. I guess we'll say in favor of the Bobcats because they had 30 more penalty minutes than the Prowlers. But either way, lots of rubber heading towards the cages. Both goaltenders played fantastic. Prowlers get the win 4-3 on the last second goal from Lucas Lockney. And they come out of here with a split. They keep their perfect Saturday streak alive. They have not lost on a Saturday yet this season. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Hitachi Energy Arena. Thank you so much to Christian Jackson, our technical director back at McMorran Place. Thank you, Molly Urquhart, for all of her hard work back there at McMorran Place as well. Aiden Bricker here running our second camera in Wytheville. For the entire crew, I'm Will Wiggleman saying we hope to see you at McMorran Place this Friday night when the Prowlers take on the Indiana Sentinels. Puck drop scheduled for 7:05 p.m. If you can't make it there, we hope to see you here on the PHP Network. But for now, that's going to do it for me. Get some sleep. This has been a long game, and we will see you next time here on the PHP Network.